What's ripping? The Monday Night Meltdown has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between along for the ride from Costa Rica to California, from Montreal to Minnesota. The late night anger management class has begun as we pick up the pieces following a pretty wild Sunday. We went to the CFL Eastern Division Final. And, listen, it's the Canadian Football League, and anybody that's been to a CFL football game knows, specifically in the playoffs, it's a booze fest. We're Canadians. You can't go to a CFL game and not drink. Like, I think I saw 15-year-old kids pounding beers back up there in the bleachers yesterday afternoon. The Grey Cup next week, Canada's biggest booze bag. People talk about the world's biggest cocktail party, the Georgia-Florida game. Yeah, I know. But it's just different in Canada. No one can drink like a Canadian, besides maybe Germans. And that's why I'm drinking Gatorade right now. We're still on the water plan. We're still on the health food plan. And, I got pretty hammered last night and probably did a lot of other things I shouldn't do. But believe it or not, I didn't slip up. The boys ordered chicken wings and all kinds of greasy food, and I stuck to the plan. Although, I'd be lying to you if I told you we feel very good today. And I did lose my cell phone, and I did a couple of stupid bets when I was drunk in the late night hours last night. But, drinking and gambling, it doesn't mix. It's fun, but it's rarely successful yet. I'd like to ask a man that joins us right now, when was the last time that he gambled while intoxicated? And I know Dave likes to have a couple of glasses of wine every now and then, but Dave's a lot smarter than I am, and he probably goes in moderation as opposed to me, which I do everything to the extreme, man. Dave Malinsky joins us from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's always a pleasure, Dave. How you doing?
Gabe, we can actually get into a good gambling story after we set the halftime up here, because I know that's what the priority is going to be for a lot of the listeners. A good story. This is going to go back about 25 years, and it will explain, first, why I don't casino play at all anymore, but I will certainly never drink and play again. Let's hold that off for about 5 minutes until we get the halftime line set.
Yeah, I look forward to that, actually, Dave. I look forward to that. And it's funny, I actually placed all my bets before I went out, right? So I even got a couple of 4 o'clock bets in because I know myself. My units go way out of whack when I drink. And I try to get cute. I'm always thinking, trying to get these big upsets when I'm drunk. And, no, they got a chance. And, that's for me. And it's so frustrating, Dave. I had literally last week a great week, man. I've been crushing it. College basketball, all those MAC games last week. Pretty much had my best week in about 2 months. And I got to be honest with you. I pissed fucking half of it away while I was drunk, literally and figuratively.
Okay, we get Seattle lining up to kick a field goal for what's going to end up being a fascinating first half. If they make this, we're going to have 44 points on the board with less than 300 yards. I mean, Atlanta's got 24 points in the first half. Falcons only had 111 yards, 28 snaps. So it creates a dilemma for the second half. You've got a lot of points up there. You haven't necessarily had a lot of offense. Combined yards per play for the two teams, 4.5 per play. But usually that's a dead under range. But the circumstances have put the points on the board tonight.
Strange football game in that sense, Dave, because I got to tell you, a lot of the trends in the history pointed to the under in this football game tonight. Did you expect this to be turned into a track meet like this?
I had very little expectation, and we wrote about this in Point Blank. And by Point Blank's a column you can find every day at sbrpicks.com. Also do a podcast called House of Yards with a guy named Matt Landis from BuzzFeed, a good friend. Talk about how confusing this is, because at various times we've seen the Seahawks, without Thomas, without Chancellor, without Sherman. We had not seen the combination of having a couple of them out at the same time till tonight. So I had no idea where to go with it. Now, here's the funny thing. I still don't know where to go with it. Atlanta had 98 yards passing, in the first half.
It's 67.5 right now. That's the end game. He's lining up for the field goal right now, 35. They're running a fake. That didn't work out well. What? Why would you run a fake with 2 seconds left? You're going to run 35 yards for a touchdown? What the hell was that, Dave?
I'm trying to figure this out because
there's no time on the clock. You have to run 20 yards for a full touchdown.
You see, I have not been following it closely enough to know, was that 4th down?
I don't know what the hell that was. You know, I've seen the stupidest motherfucking coaching decisions I've ever seen in my life, man, this year, specifically this weekend. What the hell was that? Like, I'm baffled. I don't know if it was 4th down, Dave. I think it was 4th down, actually. But there's 2 seconds left, Dave.
Okay, here's what it was. It was 4th down and 1. See, that makes no sense. If you're going to go for the first down, you leave your offense on. Even if that play is successful, it's awfully hard to get to the end zone from the 17-yard line.
No shit.
Now, keep in mind, there were 7 seconds left. So they can say, well, Seattle could have called timeout. No, you were going to burn the entire 7 seconds if you got close to the goal line. I could see maybe throwing into the end zone. But from 17 yards out, how they expected that particular play to be successful, I don't know. That escapes me.
Dave, when I said I've seen the stupidest things ever, I know it's impossible to see every game. So I don't know if you saw the end of the Arkansas LSU game. Or sorry, my bad.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, Mississippi State, Arkansas. So
I did not. No, I wasn't.
So they're going back. And long story short, Dave, Arkansas went for it in a tie football game with about a minute and a half left from their own 47-yard line. The game was tied. You know, kick the fucking punt, pin them, go to overtime. No, because it's not like Arkansas's offense was lighting it up all day, Dave. So they went for it on like their 47-yard line. Of course, they didn't get it. They threw a ball. Of course, they threw it. It was like 4th and 3, 4th and 2. They threw a deep pass, didn't get it. Mississippi State goes down the field and wins the game. You know, like, for the life of me, I don't know how that guy isn't fired. I really don't, man. Like, you know, people can talk about Mora and Bush Jones. How the hell Arkansas has not fired this guy yet is beyond me. And then yesterday in the CFL, Dave, same thing. Unbelievable. You know, it's the CFL division final, West Division final. Calgary Stampeders are up 32-25. Same thing. There's about a minute and 40 seconds left in a football game. And the Edmonton Eskimos have the ball. They're trailing 7. They're on like the 12-yard line or something. You know, 14-yard line. I had a few drags, but whatever. They're on the 12, 13-yard line. And it's third and like 3, Dave. And in Canada, there's 3 down, CFL. So it's like being 4th and 3. So it's 3rd and 3. And the quarterback's lighting it up. He just went down the field before this. They would have picked it up easily. They kicked a field goal to go down 4, which made no sense because even if you got the ball back, because in the CFL, the clock stops after plays. You know, crazy things can happen in 2 minutes in a CFL game. But you still need a fucking touchdown after. You still need a touchdown after. He kicks it. He covers the point spread, but he loses the game outright. So it's funny. If you're an Edmonton Eskimo fan and you bet on the game, you're pissed at your coach for fucking basically costing you a game. But, hey, he got you the point spread cover. And I can go on and on. Let's talk about Nate fucking Peterman starting. Another stupid fucking decision, Dave. I'm a Bills fan. It just gets worse and worse on a weekly basis somehow. But let's give people a second half line here.
Yeah, it looks like Seattle 2.5 and juice. I see Seattle 2.5 minus 15. Here's what's interesting, though. I see a lot of 24 here in Vegas on the total, but I'm only seeing 23.5 offshore. That 24 in Vegas may be just a little bit high. First half, again, didn't have a lot of production. Also, though, didn't have that fast of a pace. Only 279 total yards, the two teams combined. That usually doesn't get you to the points that are up there. So now they're saying the full game under 65 for a first half offensive flow that doesn't project out to a 65. I'll go under a little 24.
You know how we got here as well, Dave? The turnovers, but 3 consecutive long kickoff returns in a row. From the opening kickoff to the game, to the response after the touchdown, to the kickoff after the third touchdown or the second touchdown. 3 consecutive kickoff returns to like midfield also really helped them out.
Yeah, I see the first 24 at the South Point here has already disappeared in Nevada. So we got some people thinking the same way. Quick thing for Brett Bielema. The reason he hasn't been fired at Arkansas yet, they have to really negotiate down the buyout. He signed a really good contract when he came down there. Now, here's a problem in the SEC, and this impacts a couple of schools in particular. I don't think it'll impact Arkansas. I think they want to get Bielema out. But Vanderbilt and Texas A&M have talked an awful lot about making coaching changes. I'm not sure they will, because if you have too many changes in one conference, you got Florida, you got Tennessee, you got Mississippi. If you're Vanderbilt, you got to stand in line. And you don't want to stand in line for the 6th or 7th, maybe best available. They may decide that, you know what, let's go with Derek Mason one more year and get one of the best coaches available next year instead of lower down the total. I think A&M's in the same position. It's like, okay, we could get rid of Kevin Sumlin, but can we outbid Tennessee and Florida for the best guy that's out there? Or do we just hang on to Sumlin for one more year so that we don't get caught having to trade down? The situation in Arkansas, though, they need to work on the buyout. It's an expensive firing right now.
Dave Malinsky joining us from Las Vegas, Nevada. As Dave alluded to, you, of course, you guys know, and if you don't, you should. You can read his column on a daily basis right there on the front page of sportsbookreview.com. We ask you to make sure to subscribe to all the sportsbookreview.com's social media platforms like the YouTube page, the Twitter account, Facebook, etc. When you're looking for odds, just go over to SBR Odds. Check out looking for a sports book. Remember to go over to sportsbookreview.com. You get that bonus and give SBR credit for it. You get this great free programming and all these videos continuing. So, people asking, okay, second half, Dave, you're shading to the under in this. I'm looking at this. I'm already on the Seattle Seahawks, and I didn't love it coming in, but every time I change my mind, Dave, I end up losing. I was locked in on Seattle earlier in the week. I didn't go big. I'm betting basketball. So far, so good. I was 2-0 in the NBA to start the night off tonight, actually. But Seattle minus 2.5. I think the Seahawks get back in this, Dave. I think they're going to battle back. Look, Seattle, they're like 42-7 on this home field going back to 2012. And we have one team that just sort of finds a way to overcome things and win football games on this field. And we have another team that just has a history. It's not like the Atlanta Falcons are a great second-half team, Dave. They often regress, this team, as the game goes on.
Yeah, there's this issue of can Steve Sarkisian make the best adjustments, especially about Devonta Freeman in the backfield. And the one thing the Falcons didn't do in the first half, they weren't able to run the ball effectively. I can't fault it. I just didn't see the first half closely enough. Watching a lot of college basketball tonight. We got a lot of charting on it. I didn't watch closely enough to get a good feel for that revamped Seattle secondary. Of course, part of the reason I might not have learned much anyway, Atlanta was only on the field for 29 plays. So there just wasn't that much put out there for me to learn from. I'm going under 24 for about a half a bet just on general principles here.
And Dave, we spoke as we came on here. You were talking about the UNLV Rice game in which there's nobody in attendance. Most people could probably get live action in on this game, right? UNLV off to a quick start, 20-9 right now, just 6 minutes in.
Yeah, I took a small piece. The game opened 13, and it ran to 16.5. Now, I don't like Rice very much at all, but one of the guys that covers UNLV, a local media guy, had sent me a photo about 10 minutes before tip-off of what the arena looked like. And I swear, Gabe, if there's more than 1,500 people, and I emailed you the photo, so you'll be able to look at it. It is just a dead environment. So part of it is there's not a fan advantage for UNLV. This is also not the Rebel home court either. Most of these kids have never played in this building before. So essentially it's UNLV out there laying 16.5 on a neutral court. And Rice is not very good. But is Rice just good enough to lose by 14 or 15? Yeah, we'll take a little flyer on that. And that's what we talk about, grinding away with the small edges. Winning at sports isn't about being a genius. It's not about making these huge, fantastic discoveries. You don't stand up at the Grammy Awards and get handed a trophy for something. Grinding sports is about putting the little things into play and making them earn over time.
sage advice from Dave Malinsky with us. In-game total in this game is 170.5 right now, Dave. They've put up 32 points. UNLV have been playing to the over this year.
They're playing loose. Marvin Menzie is sort of caught in this, do I want to put in a system and win games, or do I want to try to enhance recruit? So Menzie's, I think, is playing faster basketball than is his wheelhouse. But I think that's what he's compelled to do here, to try to get enough recruits to come in. Something you and I talked about, I know on the Fantasy Network show in Toronto last year, and even the season before, the Mountain West Basketball Conference has really, really struggled the last couple of years, to the point where it's been a one-bid league for the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
Their problem, once they signed a contract with the CBS Sports Network, sort of got relegated to the backwaters of cable. You see very, very few Mountain West games in the mainstream. So Menzies has to shake something up a little bit from a recruiting standpoint. Part of what he's doing, he's playing faster. He's saying, look, we're going to play exciting basketball. And kids like exciting basketball, one, because it's fun, but two, you produce numbers. You got a chance to score 18 points and get 9 rebounds a game instead of 14 points and 6 rebounds somewhere else. So he's hoping that'll be a recruiting tool.
You know, Dave, I was thinking about that actually last week, because you look at these college football teams and college basketball teams, specifically college football. There's a lot of teams that are really good on offense, and they're terrible on defense. And I was wondering, I'm like, why can't this fucking team? I know who it was, like a Texas Tech. There was another team I was watching. I'm like, why do these guys suck so hard on defense? And then I realized it's easy to recruit. And you and I have talked about this. You can tell a kid, like, listen, yeah, we might not win every game if you're let's say you're a wide receiver coming out of high school. We might not win every game, but we're on TV every week, and we put up 45, 50 points. You're going to put up monster numbers. You're going to play in a lot of fun football games and in a big environment. You can't convince a defensive stud. Like, so defensive studs are going to go to elite football teams, but you can get some wide receiver or some quarterback that's a stud to go play on a shittier program, because he knows he's going to get to put up monster numbers doing it.
Yeah, let's get to one quick thing before we go back to sports. And this will be your classic lesson on why you don't drink and gamble.
Okay.
And this goes back a long, long time. Some of you might remember it. Some of you probably won't. Joe Montana to Taylor, touchdown, beat the Bengals last drive of the Super Bowl. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, I was watching with my grandfather, may he rest in peace. He told me he's never seen someone jump so high. I nearly broke the chandelier. Even as a youngster, Dave, I think I probably had $50 on it or something like that, but I remember that game.
Well, when I did the first couple of years I was out here, met a group of people from Texas, some real estate people, from sports bettors, and we go to Tahoe every year for the Super Bowl, first couple of years. And unlike now where you've got like Pac-12 basketball on Sundays and whatnot, Super Bowl Sunday is a pretty dead day in the sports betting world, or at least it was then. We're going back 27, 28 years. Now, part of it is we are comped. We're staying at Caesars Tahoe. We are comped, but it's one of these comps that you sort of have to give them a minimum play to justify it. And what we love to do is we love to play baccarat. One is because it's relatively low vig. Second, if you're sitting around with friends at the table, you can slow the game.
Yeah, Baccarat's the best game if you're looking for a cheap drunk in a casino. You're right.
Yeah, we're actually slowing the game down so that if we can shave a couple of hands per hour off the clock, we're not going to get ground out. We're not going to lose as much. Saturday night before the game, I'm out to just two of us are left. Some of the guys had dates. Some had their wives. I was up solo, and a real estate guy from Texas was up solo. So we're up. We pretty much have the baccarat table to ourselves. Nothing going on Sunday morning. So we could sit up and drink and play all night. And we did. And I didn't really think too much about it at the time. Also keep in mind, because I'm in Tahoe for that Super Bowl, the highest line to be found anywhere in the betting world, if you wanted Cincinnati, was up in Tahoe. You could actually take +8 on a game 7, 7.5 in other places. So I was also there to place a $20,000 wager. Only a small part of that my money, but a $20,000 wager on someone who wanted the Bengals +8. So Caesars knew I was making that bet Sunday morning. So I'm a bit of a celebrity in their crowd. So we have a great time, watch the game, get up, fly back to Vegas Monday morning. Everything's good. The following December, I get a call from the people at Caesars. It was 11 months later. Mr. Morency, how are you? Oh, great. Oh, we haven't seen you since January. How have you been? Yeah, I've been pretty good. I'm thinking they're gonna offer me something for New Year's. They're gonna offer something for the Super Bowl. No, Mr. Morency, we're getting towards the end of the year, and we need to close out our accounts and clear up the books.
Oh.
And we wanted to know what you wanted to do with your account.
Oh, God. You had some credit you didn't even know. You're like, what?
I am really confused at this point. And so what do you do when you're confused? Well, sometimes the best thing to do is lie. Not a dangerous lie, but it's, you know what? You caught me away from the desk right now. My secretary keeps all my records. When I get back to the office, I'll call you. Now, I have no idea what's going on. So I call a couple of people who were there from the Texas crowd. Nobody knew. Then I finally called the real estate. He was the third person I called. I said, do you have any idea what could have been going on? He says, well, I know we stung them pretty good in Baccarat that night. I think, we stung them pretty good? I said, yeah, don't you remember? Yeah, you went back and you put the money back in the cage afterwards. And I said, I don't want to say the guy's name. I have no recollection whatsoever of having it. He says, yeah, we had a pretty good run, and you didn't want to take the money back up to the room, so you took it to the cage. So I call Caesars back, and I said, yeah, now I'm going to lie again because I don't have a secretary. You know, my secretary's having trouble finding the records. Could you please tell me what the status of the account is? I said, yeah, you've got $12,800 sitting here. What would you like for us to do with it? And how do you react on the phone? That's
a good drunk story. That's a good drunk story.
It's like, here's what I'd like for you to do. I'd like for you to put one of your Keno girls on a plane and have her fly it down to me. But no, this shows you how stupid it is. And again, this is going back 28 years. I was young. I was bulletproof. I was in my late 20s at the time. Had way, way too much to drink that night. So much so that not only, apparently we did have one heck of a run, but to put that money in the cage and not have any recollection of having done that.
That was the wake-up call, right?
Well, part of that is why I could bet the $20,000 on Cincinnati the next day without bringing it to the window.
So what was the point spread of the game? So what they scored, but what was the cover situation? I don't remember.
Cincinnati was +8, so it was actually no sweat at all. San Francisco scored to win outright. The ticket itself was no sweat, but that was the only place you could find the 8. But that is what cured me, not only from drinking and gambling, but it cured me from casino gambling ever again. And I do absolutely nothing in the casino pits. It sounds like a humorous story. That's actually a really stupid story, because if I was dumb enough, drunken dumb enough,
you're not proud
to
of
have
it,
done.
right? Yeah.
No, because what could I have done wrong? If I won 12-8, I easily could have lost that amount of money.
Dave, I've been so drunk before too. I did something stupid a couple of years ago when I won the money in Vegas. I got fucking hammered. I pissed off the casino. I got into a fight with a hooker. Fuck, these hookers tried to rob me, literally. I complained, and the security told me, whatever, buddy, deal with it. And I was like, so I didn't like it very much. Things got hostile, but I was so drunk, Dave. Same thing. I was very conscious of not doing stupid shit, and I didn't want the money on me. I had about $15K. I didn't want the money on me. And I don't really trust those safes very much, but I was like, all right, fuck. So I put it in the safe, but I got kicked out of the hotel. So I'm outside, and I start freaking out. I'm like, man, I got money in your fucking safe. Yeah, I gotta, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not leaving, And then Buddy's like, pulls me aside. He's like, listen, asshole. He's like, you have the money. He goes, you already got the money. I'm like, you guys are trying to rip me off. It was so bad, Dave. The security guy had to tell me. He's like, buddy, fuck, it's in your left pocket. He goes, I was with you. I'm like, oh, there it is. I felt like such a loser. I was like, yeah, thanks, buddy. I had to leave the premises. Yeah, like you said, if we do things we're not proud of. I didn't do anything too stupid last night. I was kind of loud last night during the betcast. My fucking computer died, and I lost my cell phone. But other than that, I'm all right.
This is the world we live in that it may not just be our behaviors, but look at what everyone else does. And I think about this for the cycle coming up. And we wrote about this a little bit in Point Blank on Friday. Probably should have written about it more today. For this cycle coming up this week, if you're going to bet, step back, take a deep breath, analyze the board, get yourself under control, because we've got all day college basketball through Sunday. And then come Thursday morning, and you have all day football and all day basketball, 4 days in a row. Have a plan before you go in. Have some understanding of what you want to do. Look ahead to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Decide what some of your best bets of that weekend are. Don't burn yourself out with a lot of bad tickets where you lose too much Thursday, Friday, and you're stuck. You can't even play on Saturday.
Yeah.
Get under control. Have a plan. Because I tell you what makes it, as much as we're
Dave, I've had some nightmarish fucking Thanksgivings, Dave, where like really depression kicks in by Thursday night, by not pacing myself, by coming out swinging big. When I was younger, I remember when I put 4,000 on the Lions or something once. Like there it was Thanksgiving by 3:30 in the afternoon. I wanted to fucking kill myself, you know?
Now, to tell you what makes it different this year in particular, and I don't know if this is going to be an annual event or if this is a one-off. If people haven't looked forward to it yet, this Phil Knight Invitational in Portland that begins on Thursday, best preseason basketball tournament of all time. You're talking about, Duke, North Carolina, Michigan State, all these powerhouse teams in that field, a field you would never, ever get. It is such a wonderful tournament, and that's starts Thanksgiving Day. You've got 8 games in that tournament that day. They're using 2 different arenas. Each arena will have 4 different games. It is a brilliant concept. Now, naturally, part of the key is you get invited to this tournament if you use Nike equipment. And it's really what it is. It's Phil Knight's. And think about this selling point, though, into the future. If they make this an annual, is guess what? If you want to play in this tournament, get rid of that Converse stuff. Get rid of it, whatever the other competitors. You wear Nike apparel, you can be in this tournament, but this is a monster. I mean, can you imagine Duke and North Carolina, they're opposite, right? They can end up meeting, in this tournament there this weekend.
Unique. That's unique. I don't know how many times in their history that they played in one of these tournaments and not being the ACC tournament.
So we talk about, Thanksgiving being as busy as it ordinarily is. Now you're adding that major tournament. Thanksgiving Day used to just be about 2 pro football games, sometimes a college game at night. Now there's 3 pro football games, 1 college game at night, and college basketball around the clock all day. Fantastic college hoops games on that Thursday. So even a day where a lot of people might want to take it easy a little bit, focus in. But again, this is a wisdom through the years on this. Have a plan before Detroit, Minnesota kicks off. Guys, don't overextend yourself. Have a plan as to what you want to do throughout the entire weekend. Don't be broke the middle of Friday afternoon and be all tapped out. Don't be forcing money into bad situations just because these games are on television. And some of these Thanksgiving games aren't beauties. Redskins and Giants, that's not a beauty Thursday night. Cowboys and Chargers, that's not a – now, Lions-Vikings, that's legit. If the Vikings win that game, they essentially clinch the NFC North. If they lose, only a 1-game lead over the Lions, but the Lions will have swept them, which means the Lions would own the tiebreaker. So that is a big game. The rest of them, don't be forcing money out there if you don't have to.
All right, Dave, so we'll jump into the football in a second here, but great time of the year, as you stated, to be a college basketball fan and sports fan in general, sports bettor, sports fan. So Seattle gets the field goal 24-20 right now. We've got a football game on our hands, and this is a big drive right now. We'll see what Atlanta does. But I like I said, I feel Seattle's got them right where they want them almost. That they absorbed a great start. Atlanta always starts off great and then sort of falls apart. But this is a big, big drive. But we got some fun basketball game going on at this time of the year, Dave. And some cool games tonight, actually, both at the same time. Very, very interesting. We've got LSU and Michigan. They're playing in Hawaii. And North Carolina and Stanford, not a neutral court game. North Carolina are actually up there in Palo Alto for real, taking on the Stanford Cardinal. Let's start quickly with the LSU-Michigan game. with the Michigan Wolverines being 3-0. I've been making money with these Michigan games. I'm 2-0. I bet 2 Michigan games. I bet against them both times. Just knowing, laying 22 to Central Michigan and 24 to Southern Miss, the way that they play, Dave, they only get into the mid-60s generally. So if you're laying 25 points, you got to hold the other team to 50 points or so. I just thought they were a bit overpriced. But now this is sort of their real first game of the year, taking on an LSU team in which, they're 2-0, but they're giving up a boatload of points. They gave up 56 points and a half to Samford the other night. Michigan are laying 6, neutral court in Hawaii, total 146. What's your opinion, Dave?
Yeah, you had some good bets against Michigan because one of the things we like to do, play against the big favorites who have the tournament trip coming up. First of all, the kids can't help but look forward to it. And if you watch college football on Saturday, you know what the weather was like in Michigan, around that part. Well, if these kids know they're going to Hawaii for a week, your imaginations drift a little bit. But Beeline also knows he doesn't have to make things happen against bad teams. He gets to play LSU tonight with a win. They'll play Notre Dame tomorrow night. And if they win that game, Wichita State, that's a heck of a way to challenge your team. I like Michigan a little bit here. Not thrilled at the price. I wanted to lay a 4.
Yeah.
Never had a crack at that. LSU is a work in progress. Will Wade, a new coach, a better coach than what they've had, but also new systems. They want to play fast. They want to play up-tempo. Beeline teams are really good at exploiting teams that want to run. They're going to force you to be patient on defense. They will break the LSU defense down. They're going to get some easy looks. I did play some Michigan team total. You can't get big amounts down on these right now, but because it's on TV, you can at least get something down on it. Was able to get some Michigan team total over 76.5. I think Michigan will find a lot of good looks against that LSU defense tonight.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Dave. So do I. I like when teams that aren't known for being track meet powerhouse offensive teams. I find this with the Spurs often in the NBA and Michigan as well. Fundamentally sound teams score a lot of points against bad teams. They'll take advantage.
The opportunities, yes.
Yeah, exactly. The Spurs aren't a big over team, but if they play a bad defensive team, the Spurs will score a ton of points. Good teams. And another thing with Michigan is they don't play fast tempo, but they shoot a lot of threes. So, yeah, they'll pass it around, a few times. But for the most part, the shot will end up being a 3-point shot. Beeline wants the 3. I like Michigan here, too. I thought the number's a little high. I think we can get there to the over at 146 as well, Dave.
Yeah, I believe you can. One of the things that appeared to have earlier in this tournament is pretty soft ribs, which has happened in this Invitational in the past. I think they try to maybe boost scoring a little bit. But first game, Virginia Commonwealth scored 83, lost. Second game, Cal scored 82. They lost. You've had the losing team getting into the 80s.
Dave, as we talk right now, I'm placing this at 146, just went up to 146.5. So, yeah, it's no one's listening and watching what we're saying right now.
No, of course not. I tell you,
it literally just moved a fucking half point as we started talking about this.
Well, if you want to have fun watching an entertaining game, North Carolina, Stanford, 2 reasons why this is being played. One is that Roy Williams is smart enough that when his team is in some of these postseason or preseason tournaments, he likes to acclimate first. So when they're going out to play in the Maui Classic, they'll play a game on the West Coast as a stopover. This is Roy's way of getting his team all week long at Pacific Coast time before the night invitational, but more personal reasons here. Who is the Stanford coach? Jared Haas. A long history with Roy Williams. And let's say that Roy Williams is actually one of the nicest guys in all of sports. Well, Roy Williams recruited Haas, and Haas played for him at Kansas a couple of decades ago. Then Haas was an assistant at North Carolina for about 9 years under Williams. Haas took a job at UAB. Williams gave him a game every year at UAB. In fact, one year UAB actually jumped up and upset North Carolina. So this is Roy Williams' way of sort of helping out an underling to get a boost for his program. Williams gets the benefit of one, he gets to challenge his team a little bit, gets to play a decent opponent in the Pacific time zone, but he's also helping Jared Haas a bit, and that's what Williams will look to do
Oh, touchdown Falcons. That secondary is getting shredded.
That's what we didn't get a chance to see enough in the first half because Atlanta wasn't on the field, but it may be a bit of a hole for Seattle. On the court of the Carolina game, I like the matchup. Carolina's got 2 senior guards, which you don't see at their level very often. You don't find seniors at the Carolinas or the Dukes of the world because kids don't stick around for 4 years. Barry and Pinson, possibly the most experienced backcourt in the nation. Stanford's got a couple of freshmen starting at guard. So expect Barry and Pinson to do a much better job of dictating the flow tonight than the inexperience in the Stanford backcourt. Here's another one where the total has dropped. It was 161. It's come down to 156.5. Got to bet the Carolina team total over 80.5. Again, not big limits, but the fact that it's on TV means you can at least get a small ticket into play. So, we've got Michigan team total over, North Carolina team total over, still sitting out there tonight.
Interesting, Davis. We took Eastern Washington last week against Stanford. They ended up winning the game outright.
Yeah, Stanford is going to be a work in progress.
Yeah.
Haas wants to put a system in. He's playing his own recruits right at the get-go. So you might take a step backwards instead of showing immediate improvement. But if you've got the right support from the administration, you say, look, here's what I want to do. We got some good recruits. I want these guys to start right off the bat. I want them to learn to play basketball a certain way. We might take our lumps against teams like North Carolina. We might take our lumps in what's going to be a pretty tough Pac-12 this year. You got several national contenders coming out of the Pac-12. This may not be a good season in terms of wins and losses for Stanford, but those freshmen are going to get a chance to grow up.
New in-game total now 68.5. And I never bet on unders, Dave, in the NFL anymore. I always get burnt. I've taken I think I probably bet the under 5 times this year, 4 times. I've lost every time. I was leaning with the under here tonight. Here's a loss right now. I think this is just going to keep on going, Dave. It just never ends in this fucking league anymore. Everything's just unpredictable and crap. These teams have so many weaknesses, Dave. It's just so easy for the other team to score all the time now.
Yes and no. The defenses might be weak, but the offenses aren't any good. I mean, look at the starting quarterbacks we have going into this next week, including, and I guess I've waited long enough. We're almost 40 minutes into this. Notice I haven't asked you one question yet about your Buffalo Bills.
I sent them an angry tweet when I was yesterday, but just quickly, we'll wrap up the basketball quickly. How about, I know it's a pretty square way to approach this. Do you lay the points with both teams, Dave, with Michigan and Stanford? I'm looking at a money line parlay, minus 125, Michigan and North Carolina, just both winning the basketball games. Or are you willing to lay the 6 and 7?
Well, here's the thing is, from a money line parlay standpoint, you're not necessarily stealing because the numbers are fairly sharp. But if these games are close, and this is when you like the money line parlay, who wins Carolina-Stanford if it's close late? The senior guards or the freshman guards? Who wins Michigan-LSU if it's close late? The veteran team that knows their system or a young team learning a system that's never been on the road together before? So I think that's actually a sensible way to approach it. I believe the favorites are supposed to win both of those end games.
Yeah, we're going to jump. We're jumping in on it. Money line parlay. I am a Michigan Wolverine fan. It's been a rough weekend. That's too bad. We were right in that fucking game on Saturday. And Peters gets hurt. The wheels just absolutely fall off after that. But hey, it's a cold world. It is what it is. All right, we'll jump into the NFL. Let me just place these bets right now myself. All right, let's go. Not looking good for Rice right now. Hopefully, it can slow down a little bit. 43-18, Dave. 43-18.
It's the price we pay for betting on a piece of junk. But when you bet on junk, that's where some of your subtle little values can come into play as long as the world recognizes them as junk. And that looked like that was the case tonight.
All right, moneyline parlay. Let's get this in. Boom. So, yeah, we played the moneyline parlay, Michigan, North Carolina, guys. And I also played the Michigan LSU game to go over the number. Dave likes the Michigan team total over and the North Carolina Tar Heel team over. But it'd be nice to have some late-night college basketball, some quality college basketball at that. So, yeah, Dave, I don't know. The Buffalo Bills, it's a good thing I didn't see it for the most part. I'll tell you that much. Here comes Seattle right now. Yeah, guys, I think this fucking football game is going to turn into one of these stupid back-and-forth things. Oh, they're moving it in chunks. These secondaries suck. In-game total now just popped up to 70.5. Dear God. Just like that. Yeah, that Bill game. So one thing, Dave, they can say, okay, there was five interceptions. The first one wasn't on the quarterback. That's on the fullback. He popped it up. There were 2 tip balls out of the 5. I'm not saying Peterman played well, but I didn't like the decision to start Peterman, Dave. It made no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, part of the issue is I can understand a coach saying, okay, I've seen enough of Tyrod Taylor. I don't think he's the guy I can build my offense around into the future. But we don't know that Peterman is necessarily a legitimate prospect.
It wasn't the time to do it. You're in the playoff spot. Play Peterman in a couple of weeks. The Bills have a tough schedule coming up now. You got the Chiefs. You got the Patriots. You got all these tough teams coming up. What are you going to do now? You can't not start Peterman if you're McDermott. You just fucking outthought yourself right into a fucking box, Dave. If he doesn't start Peterman this weekend's Kansas City, he's basically stating, well, you know what? Yeah, I was way off on that, and I just sabotaged the season. Now, one thing I will admit, I thought about this today after. If Tyrod Taylor plays that game yesterday, Dave, I don't know the Buffalo Bills win. The defense is falling apart. And I said this last week about the decision. Tyrod Taylor's not the one who gave up 289 yards to the Saints on the ground. Tyrod Taylor, he's not the one that ever since they traded Marcel Darius, he's not the one who traded Marcel Darius. McDermott has this my way or the highway attitude, but I think he's overdone it a little bit. And I really like this guy, but I know for a fact, Dave, he's lost some guys in the room right now already. And he's lost me as a fan. 17 years, playoff drought. That last playoff spot is there for the taking in the AFC. And his fucking around and constantly blaming Taylor all the time, I think it's pissed off some guys in the room. And, you look at the Bills' schedule coming up right now. The Bills aren't making the playoffs. I don't understand it. It's like he sabotaged the fucking season. Look at the Miami Dolphins. They did the same thing. Dolphins are 4-2. Adam Gase gets pissed off, wants to play fucking Bill Belichick, Vince Lombardi. He gets rid of Jay Ajayi. How'd that work out for them, Dave? Oh, yeah, our room will be better. Yeah, your room's not better. The team just thinks you're an idiot. You brought in Jay Cutler. I go down the list. I can bitch and bitch. John fucking Elway fires Mike McCoy today. Vance Joseph should be fired. Yet Elway, he never should have been hired. Yet Elway's not going to fire Vance Joseph because people are going to look at Elway and then say, well, you're the one that just hired this guy and you're wrong. Just like you were wrong about Paxton Lynch. Just like you were wrong about Brock Osweiler. Just like you were wrong about fucking Trevor Siemian. I mean, Richard Sherman, Dave, tweeted out, and part of my rant here, Dave, but Richard Sherman tweeted today. Normally I would tell Sherman to mind his own business, but Richard Sherman is a smart guy. He's an intellectual. And he said, he's tweeting about the Bills. He's like, you guys are idiots. I don't know what the hell you're doing. You got what you deserve. And he's like, the NFL is so mismanaged and all these guys are overexposed. Once these guys get in control, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Richard Sherman's bang on. There's just so much mismanagement in the National Football League now, Dave.
Well, let's talk about some elements, especially let's talk about offensive football. And from the start of the year on this show, we said, that all these spread offenses in college don't produce enough quarterbacks. They don't produce enough offensive linemen. At a certain point, it also means they don't produce enough offensive coordinators either. And when we look around the league, a lot of guys being undercoached. Some quarterbacks that I like, Jameis Winston at Tampa, undercoached. Dirk Koetter, Todd Monken, not a very good staff. We wrote about Marcus Mariota last Thursday at Point Blank before the Steeler game. Look at this. Mike Mularkey as the head coach, who's now 19-50. Terry Robisky, an offensive coordinator who's been coaching since 1982. And who's the quarterback coach to develop Marcus Mariota? Jason Michael. What was his job before he became the Tennessee quarterback coach? He coached tight ends in San Diego. So we do have these coaching holes that are out there. part of I think what makes it different with McDermott is they have a little different plan. I don't think they ever yeah, maybe you can win enough games to make the playoffs this year. But
you're right. They didn't want to win. You're right. The plan was not to tank, but just to build for the future. And, you know, I have some currency here and some patience. And people did. And then they started winning games out of the gate. But you let it play itself out, Dave. You let it play itself out at least to the end of November as opposed to doing this right now. Because I think he does lose a lot of vets in the room already right now.
Maybe he wants to. When the season started, there were only 21 guys on the Buffalo roster who had played a game with Buffalo last year. And now since then, of course, he traded Marcel Darius. That cuts it down to 20. Maybe that's sort of what they want to do. But here's the issue he has this week is it's not just Peterman against Taylor. It's, you know what? Kelvin Benjamin and Jordan Matthews are both hurt. Benjamin won't play this week. Matthews might. Does it matter who the quarterback is? Because if Benjamin and Matthews are out, you have the worst your wide receivers might be worse than the Giants wide receivers right now.
Yeah, so it would be a fucking insult to make Tyrod go back in there. Hey, Tyrod, why don't you go back in there and get beat up now? And, you know, it's ridiculous. It really angers me. And the thing is, Dave, you look at this, the Bills' schedule. So they're at the Chiefs this week. And then after that, the Patriots are at the Bills. So even if you're McDermott and you wanted to do this, why the hell would you not give it these 3 weeks? You give Taylor the game in the Chargers, and I'll tell you what, you know, they probably would have lost this game anyways, and people would have been getting pissed at Taylor at this point, and it would have played itself out. Now you go to the Chiefs, you're going to send Peterman out there with nothing into Kansas City, and then after that, you got the fucking Patriots going into Buffalo, and then after that, you have the Colts. So I don't know, it seems to me that any smart person could have said, all right, if we're going to do this, we'll we'll wait. We'll let Tyrod play against LA. We'll let Tyrod play at Kansas City. We got that Patriot game. We're probably going to have a losing record by then and be out of it. And then we'll go to Peterman for the last 4 games. And his first start would be against the Indianapolis Colts in Buffalo. That's how you fucking do this, Dave. It's fucking, it's so stupid. Like I said, I don't mind it. You want to get a taste of Peterman? Fine. You guys think that you want to get rid of Tyrod Taylor? Fine. But fucking play it out and don't fucking put Peterman on the field in fucking Los Angeles against Joey fucking Bosa and a team with 29 fucking sacks. Fuck. It's ridiculous, Dave. Wait till you're playing the Colts and no one can say anything. It's in December then. It's December 10th. Fine. The season's fucking over by then. It's December 10th. This fucking stupid decision.
Yeah, and one of the things that we're going to write about in the Tuesday edition of Point Blank, and it's something I didn't necessarily perceive going into this, that actually motivated. Are they coming to get you, Gabe? Is the siren your way?
No, yeah, I don't know. I'm always concerned, Dave. It's funny that I've 46. Boom. All right, we hit the long field goal prop, 45.5. That's some nice there. Last night I came home, Dave. I was a little concerned. I had like a government of Ontario fucking letter in my door. And I'm like, on a Sunday? I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, God, fuck. This looks like I've been served or something like that. Turned out it wasn't. It was a health paper thing or something. I don't know. But, no, and I hope I'm fine. I think that was a fire, Dave, more than police. But, all right, let's jump in here. The hour's really flown by with Dave. Let's blast through some point spreads. So it's 31-23 right now in a football game. And it sounds like there's a fire nearby or something. Sounds like it's like real nearby. So Thanksgiving football. We won't give an opinion on every football game, guys, but we'll blast through the lines. Minnesota Vikings lay 3 points at the Detroit Lions. Vikings have been incredibly impressive this year. Over-unders 44.5. The Chargers and the Cowboys. Chargers schedule is pretty manageable down the stretch right now. We'll see if the Chargers heat up. Looks like their offense could be heating up a little bit, getting healthier. I'm leaning with the Chargers in this game. I think the Cowboys are about to pitch the tent. The Chargers -1, over-under 48. The nightcap, Washington Redskins lay 7 to the New York Giants. Opinions on Thanksgiving, Dave?
I think the Minnesota line is getting just a little bit rich. Now, I mean, that second half against the Rams is one of the better second halves we've graded for any team this year. They did an awful lot of things right. But a full 3 You know what Detroit does. Detroit just hangs around. We're going to write about these games in the Wednesday Point Blank, and one of the things we're going to bring up is about Detroit in the Jim Caldwell era, because they're now up to 17-9 in games decided by less than 6 points. Usually those numbers are a little bit random, but is there something in there? Is it the team's confidence? Let's credit Matthew Stafford a lot, because once again, even in Chicago on Sunday, the last 2 years, when Detroit has had to score in the fourth quarter to win games, they've scored on a high percentage of their possessions. Also, something we'll say for the Wednesday edition, the first 2 games for Dak Prescott, who's starting to look extremely average without all the stars around him.
Yeah.
His passer rating the first 2 games without Elliott, without Smith at left tackle, 55.4. Now, let's put that in perspective. Brett Hundley is 63.3. Deshaun Kaiser is 54.0. So essentially, the last 2 weeks, Dak Prescott has been Deshaun Kaiser.
And it hasn't been pretty to look at. Philadelphia, the first half was close. Then Philadelphia just kicked the crap out of them. In the second, Dallas wore out. All right, so Buffalo Bills, let's talk about the Bills. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Like I said, it's going to be Peterman. It's going to be Peterman, because if it's not Peterman, then McDermott looks like a bigger clown than he already looks like. So, I think it'll be Peterman. You mentioned a wide receiver situation. Kansas City Chiefs laying 10, over under 45. Carolina Panthers lay 4.5 in New York against the Jets, total 40. The aforementioned Philadelphia Eagles, another cupcake game for them. Chicago Bears. So that's the thing with the Eagles. They're a very good team, but they're the benefactor that they were a bad team last year, so they're getting a cupcake schedule this year, and they're taking advantage of it. Eagles minus 13.5, over under 44. The Cleveland Browns, the Browns are just a lost fucking cause. Going up against the Bengals, a lost cause. Bengals lay 8, over under 38. New England Patriots. So now we're getting up here, Dave, minus 16.5. Pats, a bunch of games off the board. Oakland Raiders, 5-point favorites against the Denver Broncos. And I look forward to your opinion on the McCoy stuff, actually, because, I know you respect McCoy. McCoy's the fall guy here when Elway's the one screwing this up. Does it matter who the offensive coordinator is, Dave, if your your quarterback situation is the way it is? It's ridiculous. Jags laying 4.5 at the Cardinals. Saints and Rams. Ooh, big football game here. Saints are red hot right now. Rams are minus 2.5. We got Sunday night football. Pittsburgh Steelers lay 14 to the Packers. And then, oh, dear God, Monday night football next week. Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens on TV. Ravens minus 7.
You know what the problem is next week, Gabe, is on Monday night, we have no fallback. We have a terrible, terrible game to sit through, and the college basketball card falls way off.
Oh, yeah, because they're all coming home from all these fucking trips, yeah.
What are we going to – here's what we're going to talk about next Monday night, okay? Let's get the audience involved. Let's get you and some of your folks involved. Next Tuesday, I'll be going to see the Golden Knights for the first time.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm not a hockey bettor. I'm not a hockey handicapper. Collectively, between you, your contacts, between the audience.
All right, we're going to get you a winner. Yeah.
Give me a winner. Because I'm not going to sit there for a few hours without action. So get me a winner for that game next Tuesday night, and we can talk about it on the show next Monday. Let's go through some of these. As bad as the Cleveland Browns are, and unlike a lot of wise guys I know who want to play the Browns just about every week, I've managed to avoid that trap. But here's one of the lead things you'll read about in Point Blank on Tuesday, and it's a follow-up from last Tuesday. The Bengals offense can't stay on the field. Their defense has been getting gassed and overworked. What happened at Denver again yesterday? Bengals couldn't stay on the field. They won the game, but if you take a look at the stats, it was like 2-1 Denver, pretty much all the categories. It's so hard for Cincinnati to punch somebody out because they just don't have the offense. This may finally be one of those times I will step in, but you could take it 9. In Vegas right now, the CGT, the Cantor Gaming Properties, have Cleveland +9 available. This is the one time I finally will come out of pocket. In fact, Mirage also has a 9. looking. So do the Coast. In fact, you know what? Nines are easy to find in Vegas right now. Cleveland +9 is going to end up in my pocket one of the first times I've stepped in there.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Dave, because my friend Cam Stewart, we do the show on fantasy radio show every day, and same thing, man. He bets on Cleveland every week, man. And like he really, this is good value. And I got to admit, I thought it was value yesterday too against the Jags. I did. I just didn't have. I took them on a teaser, and thank God I did. So I had the Browns +14 because I told them, I was like, man, you know they're going to fuck you late, and at least on the teaser you'll have a little protection if you really want to take the Browns here. But it's just weekly that they find ways to not cover point spreads. So I've done a great job. I've either picked on them and I've lost a few. I had Tennessee in that game. But, so I've lost a few. But I picked on them for the most part. But the only time I bet on it, Dave, was last week against Detroit. And I actually watched the game. And it was so frustrating. I said, I'd never fucking again am I doing that. And I actually, I stayed away from them. But, yeah, it's hard to trust the Bengals laying 8 right now.
And there's one other that I would look to take advantage of because it's a number that I think is going to get away. You could lay 4 with Carolina at Pinnacle right now. There aren't too many other places that have those 4s out there. I think that's a good matchup game for Carolina. The things they do best are difficult things for the Jets to cope with. I don't think the Jets can get into an offensive rhythm against this defense. Carolina could play a lousy, sloppy game and still beat the Jets by 6 or 7 points. So you're not asking for Carolina to have to execute at a high level. They could grind and win this one by 6 or 7.
Dave Malinsky so what, Dave? Have you already you do your article, or do you end the show after and then you bang off the article overnight? How do you do it?
I like to write fresh first thing in the morning.
You wake up early and bang it off. Yeah, so you get the latest, right? So the latest up-to-the-date news too.
Yeah, and there is sort of a particular rhythm to it. Most of the day is spent handicapping to bet. So if I've got a chance to be ready to bet tomorrow's board or writing comes second. You get up and you bet first. So what is the routine most professionals are into this time of year? You've got every basketball game on the board ingrained in your consciousness before you go to bed. That's a little tougher at tournament time when you have to adjust. I've already got my ideas on Marquette, Wichita State. So many of these games that are going to be transitioning out of tonight's results. Wake up at least having formed what your ideas are, and you're going to find out you're going to be so much effective. You don't want to have to wake up and start looking things up.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. It's a big thing for me hosting daily shows. I'm on in the morning all the time, and it's a big, big difference. You're right. You don't have to go crazy overnight, but it helps just to, as you stated, I like sleeping on it. You're right. Sort of, you sort of think of things and you can sort things out. You don't feel rushed. You wake up in the morning and reanalyze the thoughts. Hey, it's like the old saying, sleep on it, right? Give your decision in the morning. We're going to sleep on it. I agree. I just sort of like getting it in the head. Just sort of, you can just sort of start to sort things out in your mind. And hey, who knows, Dave? I'm going to get deep here. Who knows about what the subconscious does when we're asleep and stuff? And who knows what we're seeing and what we're figuring out as well, Dave.
It is a fascinating topic that I dabble a little bit in it because I find it so fascinating. My significant other, you and I have talked about this a long time, a lovely Canadian, and we go back for a long, long time. She's finishing up a PhD in neuroscience.
Interesting.
And what we are learning about the inner workings of the brain, it's just sometimes I wish I could take a couple of years off.
Because that's the thing, Dave, because the people are wondering what the hell we're talking about. We're not computers. We never turn off, right? So that's what I'm saying. Something's happening. Maybe what are we retaining? What's going on there? It is fascinating. I'm not smart enough above my pay grade, Dave, but I know there's some stuff going on.
Yeah, people have this idea that, well, when you sleep, you shut down. No, only a part of you shuts down. That is more of a physical process than a mental one. So what happens in the subconscious? All sorts of fascinating things. In terms of, let's say, tomorrow's basics, and we'll say the same thing again. This will sound repetitious, but I will keep beating people over the head. Get your Thanksgiving week under control. Have an idea what you want to bet on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday, so that if the Egg Bowl is 10 minutes away and you're not sure if you like Mississippi or Mississippi State, and you know you've got something better on Friday, put yourself into that position. You know what? If I lose the Egg Bowl, I might not be able to bet Iowa against Nebraska, or maybe I can't bet Buffalo against Ohio.
Yeah.
Don't go one day at a time. Look several days in advance and try to position yourself properly. It's also gave a real dangerous time for people to drink a little bit too much. I'm lucky because the people I have my Thanksgiving dinner with, we eat at halftime of the Dallas game every year, which means you don't actually go home drunk. You fall asleep in the afternoon, sleep it off, get a normal night, and then you're up and at it Friday morning.
Sage advice once again from Dave. All right, Dave. We'll let you go on this on the way out here. We often talk about music, maybe a little dab of music on the way in. I know your daily column. Dave posted a musical video and sort of has a musical reference and the tie-in. You know, it's been quite the year, 2017, with losses in the music industry. But Malcolm Young passed away, 64 years old. Malcolm Young. And, you know, the unheralded star, Dave. We talk about, you know, the fullbacks, and Angus is the star, Angus, the quarterback of that team, so to speak. But, you know, Malcolm was the one that wrote those riffs. I mean, he's really the foundation. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know really how they go on like this. You know, maybe one more tour or something. But nevertheless, you know, may Malcolm rest in peace. But, you know, just the definitive rock rhythm guitarist, Dave. I mean, anyone that's in a band, anyone that's in the hard rock scene or just rock, metal knows. Like, Malcolm is the gold standard of rhythm guitarist. He just was.
Yeah, if you look at that body of work, just an absolutely sensation of what they were able to do with sound. And it makes me feel so blessed to have lived in the era that I did. I mean, I missed the Beatles by a few years. I was a little bit too young for that. But when people read Point Blank, and we run the jukebox usually Mondays and Fridays, or any day there's a long column and you need something to help you through. I said, you know, why do you like all these old guys, blah, blah, blah? And he said, well, here's what we did not understand about rock and roll in the early days, is that in the 60s, in the 70s, there's this belief that, well, rock and roll is kids' music, and then you'll get older and you'll evolve out of it. And that if you were going to be a rock and roll fan, you would have to keep listening to young musicians all the time. Now, what we didn't realize is the guys that were our heroes growing up could play all the way through their lives. And so when I think about how many people are still playing, are still creating, driving around town today, doing several things. I've got the latest Robert Plant CD in my player. I've been a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. They're playing the best music they've ever played as a band. And it's new music. It's not oldie stuff. Ian Hunter, people might remember from fronting Mott the Hoople way back when. Ian Hunter has had a solo career with a lot of tremendous. Peter Wolf, who fronted the Jay Giles Band, he's put about a half a dozen solos out. These aren't albums that are big mainstream things, but there are two elements. One is they're able to play all the way through their lives. But number two, the reason why some of us stay plugged into them, they are singing about contemporary things. So if I can listen to an Ian Hunter, a Springsteen, a Peter, singing about things that are relevant to my life right now, I don't need to listen to a 25 or 30-year-old because it's not relevant to me. So we did not know growing up that rock and roll was going to allow the artists to play all the way through their lives. Turned out that way. So when people read Point Blank and they don't see a lot of what they quote new stuff out there, no, there is new stuff. It's just being done by guys who have been around. I won't apologize for not knowing a lot of the new players in the music scene. There just isn't enough time. But if I can keep listening to the people that I like, Joe Grishecki has got a new release coming up. Van Morrison has just put out a new release. If I can keep doing that, that's what I'm going to do with my musical life. And that's pretty much what you're going to hear Mondays and Fridays in Point Blank.
Dave Malinsky, you can check out Point Blank tomorrow morning, sportsbookreview.com. Dave, it's always a pleasure, my man. You know what? The second half, this weird football game, it has slowed down. 13 points scored here in the second half so far. New in-game total, right back where we started to start the second half, 63.5.
Now, one last thing before I go, though, Gabe. We talked about new music coming out. When are we going to hear you?
We got to get through the football season. We're so freaking busy with the football season. But suddenly when the NFL dies down, Dave, my Sundays will be free. College football will be done. I still bet college basketball and NBA on the weekend, etc. But it's just a little bit different. So basically, when the football season ends, we're going to the studio. We're going into Metalworks Studio here in Toronto, which is actually owned by Rick Emmett. Rick Emmett of Triumph. Great band, Triumph. And, Metalworks, big time shit, like the Rolling Stones and, you name it. It's a who's who. It's a major studio. So, yeah, we're going into the studio probably about 2-3 weeks after the Super Bowl, Dave, maybe about a month or so. But the wheels are moving. The wheels are moving. We're getting there.
Are you going to play any live shows?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Now, why unfortunately?
Because I sort of doing this just to sort of have the product so it can live forever. And some of the guys in the band are doing this to sort of relive the old days, which I'm not really big on. And I don't really want to sit in a fucking van and play in these fucking bars, right? Too much. But, at this stage of our life, we could probably get on some pretty bigger shows and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, David. Another thing is, too, it's fucking hard playing live. It's going to shred my voice. I'm stepping back in a time machine here, Dave. It's one thing to record, but the tours are other things. But, hey, we'll see. I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? But the music's going to be good. It's going to, it's not going to be your type of thing. Think sort of Slayer, heavier than Metallica type stuff. But, we're older and wiser. It's going to be very well produced and stuff. So, yeah, we're ready to go, man. Fired up for it.
Well, let's see if we can get something live that we can put into the point blank jukebox. That'll be a special occasion.
I'll send you the link. I got a link of one video of one of our older shows. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you tonight, actually. You get a kick out of it.
Please do that.
You know what's funny, though, Dave? Yeah, we were going to play, like, selected cities. So, like, we're playing in Montreal because that's where we originally, that was their home base at first. We're going to play in Toronto because Toronto's a big city and I'm here. And believe it or not, I was kicking the tires on Homicide in Las Vegas, actually. I figured if I'm going to play a couple of cities, why not Vegas? It'd be a good time.
Why not Vegas? I mean, and for one of the frustrations about Vegas, we have not been music friendly. When I first got to Vegas, it really was. And then what happened is they started putting a lot of canned music behind the shows on the Strip.
Yeah, exactly. When the local rock guys, it's tough. You're right, because it's all candy. It's all commercial shit at the casinos. But there's a scene there. I forget the name of the place. It's on Fremont, but below, like in the bad neighborhood. Kyle Turley played there, the Turley band, when he came. It's like a punk rock bar, but some pretty good bands play there. I forget the name of the place, Dave. I'm sure you'll know it, but I fucking forget. I'll remember it, though. Maybe it was a number. Is it called Route 66?
I'd have to look that up. That's not ringing a bell.
No, I don't know. It'll pop up. But yeah, we're thinking about Vegas, though.
We would love to see you here. That would be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, LA, Vegas, big markets. You know what I mean? A couple big things. But we actually do have interest from a record label, Dave. Record label, too. It's funny. The guy follows me on Twitter. He's a sports fan. I got a direct message from the dude, and it checks out, too. It's not like just some guy. Yeah, it checks out. He's like, hey, dude, I'm a big fan of yours. Love your TV shows. He goes, I know all about your band Homicide from years ago. And he goes, just for the record, when you record your stuff, send it over to me. I want to be the first one to hear it. I think we can work out a deal. So it's nice to know, actually. There's people waiting for this,
I'm looking forward to it myself. I said I've not heard any of the stuff in the past, haven't seen any of it. So I'm genuinely looking forward to this.
Dave, I always look forward to the appearances, and we'll speak again tomorrow afternoon on Fantasy Sports Television Network. It's always a pleasure, Dave.
Thanks, Gabe. Good luck tonight.
Dave Malinsky with us. Great stuff with the professor, as always. Great stuff with the professor, as always. Is it just me, or is the lighting different tonight? It's good. It looks good. You know what it was? Speaking of music, I have a Marshall fucking amp. The Marshall amp was blocking the light a bit. There, see, that's a little brighter. There we go. It does. And I'll be honest with you as well. I'm on a different computer. The computer I was on last night, it's done. It's not done, but it's close to done. It's a problem. So we see Donnie here. Good to see with Big Man. My apologies, Big Man. We just couldn't make it. You saw we tried. Probably a good thing anyways. We were getting pretty wasted. You know, we fucking tried, bro. I fucking spent $15 on a taxi. I got up mid-show, came home, got the charger, went back. And so today, yeah, the spitting on it, you know, that didn't, whatever. I cleaned the screen out. I'm actually on another Apple right now. But I agree with Bruce, Chad. And Druzilla's brought that up too. I'm going to, I'd be better off with a desktop here, you know, for the show, the home base one. Because these shows, guys, they suck a lot of fucking juice out, all right? These shows abuse these laptops. So yeah, basically, they figured out what's wrong. There's a problem. The actual port that I plug into is fucked up. The prongs that I plug the charger into, fucking Apple, like I said, it's all Apple bullshit. They told me, not Apple, but the tech guy told me that I left in the charger too much. So it singed the fucking port inside. Like he's like, look, it's a little singed a bit, you see? And that's why, and there was kind of this gook in there that was sort of from the singe stuff. So we cleaned it out a bit, but he's like, no, you need a new little port thing in here, the little thing that clicks, the magnet. So basically the magnet connects sometimes, but not fully. And yeah, it's just fucking frustrating. Like, how much bullshit do I have to go through with this fucking shit with Apple? I just, like, everything. It's just, it's ridiculous. Oh, you got to do, oh, you can't. And I got pissed off. I told him, well, the reason I got to leave the charger in plugged is because when I don't, it fucking doesn't say charged. Look, last night, guys, we had 100%. I figured, okay, I'm on 100%. You can give me a couple hours. We couldn't get through the first half on 100% last night. I was on 100%. When did we get knocked out at halftime? 100%. 100% of a fucking Apple computer can make you do a halftime of a football game. I lasted an hour and a half. It was like a percentage point a minute. We were looking. That's fucking bullshit. Like, what kind of crap is that? So what? And then they're like, well, you leave it plugged in. Yeah, I leave it plugged in because if it's not plugged in, it doesn't fucking stay alive. Fuck. I fucking hate this computer. So now I'm on another Apple, but I'm out of apples. I should note the computer's like 4 years old now. Yeah, so I think it's, the computer's like 3.5, 4 years old. So, it is what it is. They're not fixing it for me. Like, I have to fix it. Oh. Big run Coleman. Oh, shit. Oh. Coleman going video game style. See, I'll look into a desktop to do the shows. And yeah, in the future, I'm going to get an Acer and a Levano or whatever. I'll just get one of those fucking beaters. You know what I mean? Like this is it's too precision. It's too tinny. There's always something. And everyone, oh, you need to do this. You need to know that with Apple. It's like, fuck off, man. You know, why? Every fucking day I got a new thing. Oh, no, you left the charger in too much. Oh, no, you didn't charge it. It's fucking bullshit. I'm sick of it. I was fucking pissed last night after. But like I said, in hindsight, it was a good thing. We were hitting the wall anyways. I lost my phone somewhere. I don't know where it is. Usually I don't really care, but I got a lot of numbers in there I need. I'm just realizing now, like I don't even have my mother's phone number. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know number 9, but you're not fucking hosting like fucking 18 hours a day on it, you know? No, there was no problem. No, the guy gave me a dirty look. That was it. I had no problems. No, there was no fights, no issues or anything like that. Touchdown. Like I said, my biggest issue. My biggest issue was yeah, I can't find my phone now. Yeah, I know. That's how I woke up today, Bruce Chad. That's how I wake up this morning. Because the computer, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, you know, this morning I'm like, I don't know, maybe it'll work. So I fucking plug it in. I'm like, no. And I got to do a TV show and shit. And I'm like, all right, I got to get on the internet. Where's my phone? Fuck. And then I'm like, I can't find my phone. I don't think it's here. I would have found it by now. Now, Druzilla said he lost his phone too. Now, the batteries, it's off. I have my fucking, I have my phone off all the time anyways, the sound down. Like I said, I was pretty wasted when I got home. There's a possibility. Part of me thinks I threw my phone somewhere in here last night. But I would have found it by now, you know? I mean, I'll often lose the phone and like, you know what I mean? We all do have places. Oh, it's under here. It's over there. You know, once I couldn't find my phone once for a day here, I was freaking out and I fucking found it under my bed. I forgot that I fucking had it in my bed and I guess I dropped it and I kicked it under my bed. And I don't know, you know what I mean? Like there it was under my bed. The funniest is Cam Stewart today telling me once he found he fucking destroyed a phone by putting a phone in his freezer. He's like, yeah, I had my phone with groceries and I put the bag in the freezer and it destroyed the phone. Cam loses phones like every 3 weeks, this guy. I don't. I haven't lost this phone in 4 years. I'm waiting for Jazz to fucking step up and in and take a shot at the phone, but I know. That's what I was thinking, Stooch. No field goal. Now they're not going for it. I don't know what fucking cab company I took already. That's the only thing. I called the bar. Oh, yeah, so for the record, yeah, the Michigan game. What's going on with this? All right, the Michigan and these games are about to start in 10 minutes. So for the record, I took LSU, Michigan over. And I moneyline parlayed North Carolina and Michigan. I've got the over in the NBA. We started off well in the NBA tonight, but it's not picking up a bit. Fuck. What the fuck is up with this shit? Denver Nuggets and Sacramento, man. They just can't score, you know? They're at 100 right now. There's 9 minutes left in the third quarter. I thought we'd have a shot still. Even at 47-47, I thought we'd have a puncher's chance. I should have jumped in on the fucking Celtics earlier, but this is what happens, man. I don't drink much. Like you guys will see, I won't drink again, you know. Well, the holidays are coming up. I think there's a Christmas party I have to go to in mid-December. But it fucks me up. I was doing great all week. I ended up getting drunk, did some stupid shit last night. I lose my fucking phone. My computer doesn't work. And now I'm all out of sorts today as well. Like I got, you know, I'll be back on track tomorrow. Ryan J, setting odds. I like my odds right at those chances. I hate to say it, fuck. Find phone is fucking plus fucking 300. Don't find phone is minus 500. Fourth and goal from the 19-yard field goal attempt, 31-23. And Matt Bryant drills it. Now up 11. Now, I can't find my fucking phone because I don't know, man. Maybe there's some sort of tracker, but I remember I lost an iPad. I lost another phone once, and I couldn't find it because I specifically turned the GPS thing off. Exactly, Kitchen Arranger Ray. I don't see where I lost it. I really don't. Because you're right. I had my phone when we came back here. I don't remember using the phone ever at the bar. I think it's here somewhere. I just, you know, where? I do have a lot of fucking bags around and all this shit. What sport do I like the most? I don't know. I used to like NFL football the most, but I'm starting to hate this league. Probably NBA right now, a salty dog. Last few years, the NBA. Last few years, the NBA has been my favorite league. Was I a minor hockey player? No. I didn't play like in the queue or anything like that. No. My hockey prowess is over exaggerated. I was pretty good, but no, I didn't play minor hockey, but I did get a I could have played NCAA hockey if I was better in school. But I wasn't good in school, and I got an offer to play in England in a pro league. I believe the second tier pro league in England. Like not even like the best league in England. like England, you know, and like I didn't like, you know, I wasn't playing the NHL. It was 19. They offered $19,000 a year. It was not $19,000. $19,000 and free room and board. All right, so yeah, so Michigan, LSU go off the board in a couple of minutes. You know, the thing is, I need a new phone anyways. I needed a new phone anyways. My phone was breaking down. Like, it was whacked, fuck. You know, like the times were weird. Everything was weird. But I'm an idiot, fuck. I don't write numbers and backups down. That's my concern. Like, there's all these numbers, fuck. Like, I don't even have Jazz's number. I'm buddies with Jazz. I don't even have your number, Jazz. Like, I don't know. The only thing is, I'm a vet, so I've lost once I lost the phone, and it was same shit. I really needed a few numbers that were in the phone. And the phone company can get you the numbers. This is a little known trick. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can ask them to tell you. It's sort of like a cop. You know what I mean? You know, you get your phone records. You can get your phone records. Like, legally, they're yours. You can tell them. So it takes a couple of weeks, but I've done it. I basically said, listen, I want a fucking printout of every number I've ever called. And they said, all right. And the thing is, but they only keep it for 6 months. You know, like the company I remember was only 6 months. They said, listen, we can go back 6 months. We can't do the year, but we can go 6 months. I was like, fine. And it took like a week only, and I got it. Fuck, they called me, hey, we got it. Boom. Fucking ding, 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 ding. You see all the numbers that you call. You can't find the text numbers, though. Only number phone. Maybe I can, on the website, it's a good call, Drew. Yeah, each call I made, you're right. And then I don't have the text messages, but at least I don't know numbers, but I know Jazz is like 250. Like, you know what I mean? So I could see, okay, that's this guy. That's this guy. All right, yeah, all right, there's my mother's. You know what I mean? Like, I can see, I'll be able to figure out and pluck certain numbers out if I see them, but I don't know them. Like, can you look your text messages up? The company told me I couldn't when I tried. They said the text messages, no, but the calls you made, yes. Well, Steve Wilson. Wait, hey, Steve. Wait, Steve. This is my boy Steve. Is that Rocket Maniac, Steve? You work at a phone company? Yeah, I know. I can fucking put. I know. Exactly. Like, the texts are only in the phone. There's no way to retrieve that. No, Chargers are going to beat them. That's a good point, Stooch. I should call the fucking NIA and say, listen, guys, I know you've been listening. So do you have, can you guys tell me that fucking, I owe this guy money and he's probably thinking I'm stiffing him right now. So, but I'll be honest with you. really mind. I needed a new phone anyways. I want to get a good phone that I could do this on if I had to. So if I could pop on the Google Hangouts and shit, you know. But what I like about yeah, I'm stupid. I don't keep a lot of contacts and shit. I don't do all that iCloud shit and all that bullshit. But what I like about this is I'll have the same number. Oh, touchdown. If it stands, there's a flag. Looks like it stands. Yeah, I thought they would score here too. So what are you guys saying? Galaxy smartphone? Yeah, because I just want a phone that I could just take a picture and hit put on Twitter. Like I want one of these new modern type deals. I'm not good at taking pictures and shit like that. I want to do more of that. Let's go, John Willis. Like I said earlier, what did I say earlier? I said we have one team that finds ways to lose these type of games late against one team that tries to find a way, usually finds a way to winning. I'm not in a rush to buy an iPad. Like I said, after all this bullshit, I'm not in a rush to buy an Apple product. I can't lie. I'd rather the Samsung, yeah. Hey, Gino, you guys all you guys are all talking nice about the Samsung. Yeah, the Samsung might blow up. Drew lost his phone too the other day. Fucking sucks. Yeah, I know. I know I'm not the only one. But I was going to say what I like about losing phones, though, is it lets you know who your friends are. Because they'll have the same numbers. So if people just call me, whatever, I'm here. All right, we're going to take our first break of the evening.
Special teams have been lousy for Atlanta tonight. The ex-Kansas City Chief, this is what Alexander does as well as anybody. Remember, Seattle has just one time.
Hey, Bobby Brown. Bye-bye, Bobby Brown.
This place is going to be going bonkers. Do not jump off sides if you're on the Falcons. Boys in the noise.
No, I like the don't do the onside kick. I agree with that. Big run on first down.
One first down on this possession would be huge for the Atlanta Falcons. That's an impressive run. And again, everything is triggered by their Pro Bowl center, Alex Mack. I think they're going to keep the ball on the ground for sure. Matt Ryan will check this run. The better two looks. He in the center, Alex Mack will negotiate. Pete Carroll did not use his one remaining timeout. Second and 4. Derek Coleman stays in front 7 points. And Kevin tripped up. Bradley McDougal to save.
Ooh, big third down coming up.
Chancellor made a big play. And that gets us to the 2-minute warning with a huge third down when we come back.
People buy Moen shower heads for their amazing spray power. I say the way magnetic snaps back into place is a game changer. Now, if only Moen can help me get some privacy in here. Moen, buy it for looks, buy it for life.
Now, Bobby Brown's a troll, guys. I didn't just boot him for being. I'm not a dick. The guy, you know, he's an idiot. He knows. It's the same jackass, that guy. Like I didn't just boot him for asking us to talk sports. Like he's a jerk off.
Male penguins show their love with a pebble. Some males, however, are smarter than others.
Save 25 to 50% off everything and save on Black Friday specials. People's, Canada's #1 diamond store.
Hello? Oh no, that's a real shame. No, we can totally reschedule. Don't you just hate it when they cancel? 100% whole wheat for your baby stuff, and a touch of sweet for the kid in you. Kellogg's Mini Wheat saves your grown-up day, and adds a little flavor. Feed your kid with Kellogg's Mini Wheat.
Coming up on the GMC Sports Game Report, we put a bow on 11. We catch up to Cam Newton. The Celtics get it done late, push their win streak to 16. Jason Tatum, I believe, will stop by. Monday means bad beats, but right now, the most important snap of the night in Seattle. Back out to Sean and John. Fellas.
All right, here comes the play of the night, 3rd down and 3. I think you got to throw the ball. Put the ball in your best player's hands, get the ball to Julio Jones, and let Matt Ryan win you the game. 2-minute warning. Atlanta by 3. Ryan, sack.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm already on Seattle, but you know Russell Wilson's going to do this.
We talked about it earlier. Schweitzer, the right guard, is the man they want to get after. And he did. He just shoved Schweitzer right back in the lap of Ryan. First sack of the night for Seattle.
They're going to get a big return here.
They reset the clock to 1:55.
The only thing is, it's not like Seattle have the most clutch kicker in the world.
Seattle used its last time out. So here's Bosher. To Lockett. This had a tremendous night on special teams for Seattle. In the kickoff return game. Not a good punt, short. So short it bounces at the 42. Flag down, Lockett buried immediately. Taken down by Marvin Hall. Flag down back behind the line of scrimmage.
Turn the kick. Holding. Number 59. Receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down Seattle.
Fucking idiot.
There's Russell Wilson. He's 37-7 because of his late game heroics. Look what he did in week 2 to beat the 49ers. Are you kidding me? Run into his left. Somehow he gets the ball to Paul Richardson. Then he did it again against the Houston Texans. 21 seconds left in the game. He finds his tight end, Jimmy Graham, for a game winner. He's been there before. He relishes these opportunities. Atlanta was horrible in their previous 2-minute defensive possession. Penalties, wrong coverages, no passes.
Good to see you, Steve Wilson. We're still on the train.
Potential playoff berth.
And the kick is riding on 5-yard line. The penalty takes the play to the 25.
Yeah, I know. I got paid for the Oklahoma City game. I don't even know if they won, fuck. I love that shit.
But the short punt actually kind of helped Atlanta. Took right guard Mark Lewinsky in the game, and they pass protect when they need to the most.
Hockey, if you're up by 3 goals, 18 points in a basketball game.
First down, ball comes out, and they're rolling him down at the 36-yard line. Andre Campbell made the tackle the block in front. Grant hurt his ankle. He's coming out of the game. He's clearly
No, I'm not a big bong guy.
that's a huge loss. He can't get back.
I roll them. Dangerous tip ball.
Adrian Claiborne has a hit on Russell Wilson. Adrian Claiborne, who's had nothing but injuries the last few years of his career, is running hot right now. He almost got to Wilson. Left side of your screen, he gets around playing ground, and Wilson never saw him. Doug Baldwin is the man.
UNLV's up 83-59 with 6 minutes left. Stanford's up 11-8 early. LSU's up 8-5 early. Russell Wilson scrambling, flag, going for it all, deep. Fuck, they normally hit on those, but I think Wilson has a free play here. Yeah, so last night Cam was pretty ruined. He holds it well, though, Cam. But Cam told me today, he goes, hey, dude, I don't remember anything. He goes, I sort of remember being at the bar. That's what Cam, like Cam doesn't remember being on the air. He's like, I sort of remember being at the bar. And so what was funny is Cam, they ordered wings, okay? Good. Where's Babano at? Probably still recovering. Good to see you, Babano. Babano's a great guy. So the same way we're hanging with this guy, Kevin. So they're there. I'm not eating the wings. Oh, shit. It's getting serious. 3rd and 5. I'm not eating, I don't eat the wings. I'm drunk, whatever. Cam, they pound through these wings, and fucking Cam's like, we need more wings, fuck. He's like, that's no good. We need more wings. And Cam orders fucking 3 orders of wings. So Cam orders 3 more fucking pounds of wings. All right. So he orders 3 more fucking like 30 wings. He orders like 3 more baskets. There's 3 of them. He's like, come on, guys, we need more wings. Wilson scrambling, gets the first down. Ooh, he got fucking shoestring tackle. So yeah, Cam orders, but then right out of the blue, and good to see you, Ray. It's funny, Ray's like Morency's the same in real life. So Cam orders fucking 3 fucking, in Ontario, they call them pounds, fuck, a pound of wings. Whatever, it's like 12 wings or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like a basket full of wings. So he orders 3 of them, fuck. They order 3 of them. But just out of the blue, we're sitting there. And Cam just gets up. Just right out of the blue. Cam just gets up. He looks at me and he goes, don't hate me. I gotta go. I said, what? And he goes, he sort of starts mumbling. And he goes, bro, I'd stay if I could. He goes, I can't. I gotta go. Like, I'm like, when? Right now? Like, he goes, yeah, now. And he grabs his jacket. I was like, all right, man. I said, you all right? He's like, he mumbled something, and he just walked out. And he saw me today, and he goes, I don't remember leaving. He goes, what happened? I said, what happened is you ordered 3 pounds of fucking wings and left. So the wings fucking come. The wings come. Cam's gone. Poor Babano and the other Kevin are there. And there's fucking like a ton of fucking wings. Yeah, Cam got a text from his girlfriend. Something wasn't going well. Someone got shot outside of Cam's girlfriend's apartment last night, literally. 13 seconds left. So, yeah, Cam, just out of the blue, Cam. Cam's like, all right, I'm out. Cam just gets up and leaves. Like, no, like literally, like ask Babano. He left in 30 seconds. Like he's drinking, laughing, and he just gets up and he goes, don't hate me, I gotta go. He leaves. He didn't even say bye to Babano and Kevin, I don't think. Like he just left. They were like, what happened to Cam? Where? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty wasted too. So then the guys were trying to get me to eat the wings. Kevin wasn't, but Babano was. Babano's a bad influence. It's pretty crazy because I did a lot of crazy shit yesterday, yet I wouldn't eat the wings. I was like, nah, the wings is, I can't do that. I was like, no, I'm not eating greasy food, man. I'm off it. I told you, I'm not doing it. Fuck, it was tempting, guys. I was wasted. I had 30 big wings in front of me. The smell was great, coming right up in my face. And I didn't do it. I actually ate the carrots with the dip and the celery and stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not eating the wings. I'm not going to do it. All right, well, here it is. Like I said, it's a 52-yarder too. Holy fuck. It's up. And there's good old Blair Walsh. What are you smiling about? Why would they sign this guy? Why would they sign that guy? Like I said, you fucking know. Listen, a 52-yarder is not automatic, but whatever, dude. You fucking know this guy is not a clutch kicker. You won a playoff game because this guy missed a fucking chip shot. So he's not good under a clutch and he doesn't have a booming leg. Like, what's the allure of this fucking kicker? Like I said earlier, mismanagement. You deserve to lose this game because Blair Walsh is your kicker. Pretty simple. Like, why? You let Hoshka go and you bring in a fucking guy that is, like 52 yards. If you can't make a 52-yarder in the NFL, that's bad. There's Darren Detition on TV. He was at the game yesterday, and he was pretty sloshed, too. I saw him in the bathroom. Like Chris says, it's unacceptable. You're a professional. This isn't like the MAC. I get it. The MAC. All right. The kid might not get it. You're in the NFL. Like, really, it makes me think of Norwood. It's, 52 is really, that's almost kind of common in today's league, I mean, put it this way. Like, Justin Tucker was 14 of 14 from 50. There are guys in the NFL that it's routine. 50 yards is a casual kick nowadays. It's not easy, but you know what I mean? It's supposed to be doable. Yeah, he missed 3 fucking kicks against the Redskins. Rich Banks says his high school kicker could do 55 yards. You know what sucks? It was his tease on TV. It looked like it was going to go in. Yeah, but it's unacceptable. No, and we all knew this, though. We all said, and I called it before. I said, yeah, but we got Blair Walsh. Yeah, Dutchie's a nut job. He's a big dude. No, exactly. It's fucking pathetic. They're going to miss the playoffs. They're going to miss the playoffs, and it's true. He cost them the Redskin game, and now this game. Yeah, I don't know about that, Olin. I can't confirm that. Yeah, like to me, it's fucking ridiculous. Look how many teams in the NFL. Look how many teams in the NFL would rather be crap than sign Colin Kaepernick. Did the Leafs lose? I don't know. Babcock, I got the sound down. The Toronto Maple Leaf coach doesn't look too happy in this press conference. What's he saying?
Disrespectful. Well, I saw it later and it was disrespectful. The goal was going in whether he touched them or not because he had time. He pushed out.
He's talking about something being disrespectful, yeah.
And that didn't affect, in my opinion, that didn't affect the outcome of the game. When you don't start on time and you're not prepared to go right.
It looks like Babcock's getting mad for real. Like, even with the sound down, I could just see the fucking rage in his face. Like, he's waving this piece of paper, fuck, at the press conference. He's like, I'm tired of the slow starts. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what happened. I didn't see the game. I don't know what happened. I just have the sound down here, and I could just see Babcock at the press conference, his face. I was like, he looks pissed about something. So I turn the sound down, and I hear him bitching. It's disrespectful. I don't care if he touched them or not. Yeah, I'm tired of the slow starts. No, I'm not in Costa Rica, Slipknot. Utah and Mississippi, 30 minutes. All right, Matt. We got to put our gambling hat on here, huh? We'll break the game down. We'll take a look. All right, Leafs got screwed for a goal. All right, so it's at 23-15 North Carolina right now out of the gate. My Michigan Wolverines. Fuck, the total is slowed down in the Michigan game. In-game total, 136.5 right now. LSU is leading 15-11. Michigan only have 11 fucking points in 10 minutes, man. And you're right. The Denver-Sacramento total is somewhat in play here again. We got a puncher's chance. Boom. They just hit a 3, too. That's good. Yeah, North Carolina, big spark here, big run. 28-15. Tar Heels just pulled away. I should have just laid the fucking 7. Fuck. Stanford blow, man. We know Stanford blow. But whatever, we're all right. So we got North Carolina's up 28-15. Michigan and LSU, actually. Michigan just hit a 3. In-game total, 137.5. Started at 145.5, 146. Went up to 146.5. Get the stream going for this game. What we got? You got Utah and Mississippi, coming up. Where's that shit? In Hawaii? Yeah, let me load this up. Pac-12. Well, Cal were up on Cal covered. Cal covered against Wichita State, but they blew it. They were leading. They were leading on the money line late, but I see Wichita State came back and won by 10. Oh, no, it's in Las Vegas. Not in Hawaii, Las Vegas. Yeah, thanks, Chris Blanchard. Yeah, Vegas. Yeah, it looks like Cal fell apart. All right, Utah and Ole Miss, both 3-0. Ole Miss returned 3 starters from a 22-14 team that lost to Georgia Tech in the NIT. Ole Miss has beaten Louisiana, Eastern Kentucky, and Georgia State. Georgia State's actually a pretty good team this year, it seems. The Utes, 9 players averaging 9 or more points. Typical Ute, deep team. Mississippi averaging 85.3 points per game. Utah averaging 83. Difference is Mississippi's given up 74. Utah's given up 57. I'm thinking Utah here. I'm looking at Utah. The fact that it's in Las Vegas, it's essentially a home game for the Utes. Coming off a nice win against Missouri. I know Missouri was without that star fucking kid there, but what's his name? Taylor? Still. Pounding Missouri like that, 77-59. They beat Prairie View, the same team that we bet against last week with the Rebels. They won by 20. They won by 19. Who's this? Mississippi Valley State. They blasted by fucking 40. Look, Utah's actually played a real team already. And, I know Mississippi has a good backcourt. Pretty high total, 154.5, but I doubt it's a low-scoring game. If you want to get into some trends here, it's fucking nuts. Over 6-2 in Mississippi last 8 non-conference games. Mississippi, 10-4-1 to the over in their last 15 games. Utah Utes, 10-1 to the over last 11 neutral court games. I'm always concerned when these teams are playing on courts they're not used to. Dave talked about the soft rims in Hawaii. There's something to be said when the kids are shooting in a new barn. If it's the same. Now the thing is, this Vegas thing is not too much of a challenge. It's an arena, right? It's an arena. The stadiums usually throw players off for a half or so. Like when college basketball, like when March Madness, like the first time that the teams play in the football stadiums, you'll see like the first half unders are a good play often. Some of the courts, you got to read between the lines though and find out which teams. You got to find out which teams, are liking and not liking it. You can read, the kids will be bitching about the sight lines. Like sometimes there's fucking curtains behind the basket or there's like a grandstand. Like basketball players get thrown off by the depth perception easily. Should be a fun game, actually, Mississippi and Utah. I don't know. Mississippi are good, but I'd rather have my money. I talk about this all the time. Mississippi, what you want, a street ball team or do you want the fundamental country club team? Give me the country club team. Mississippi are more athletic than Utah, but I think Utah will make less mistakes. And not to mention, You know, Utah's a couple hours away from Las Vegas. Salt Lake City, 6 hours. Salt Lake City, 6 hours. So, and there's nothing to do in Utah. So Utah fans travel. There's a shitload of people from Utah that live in Las Vegas too. When am I coming to Vancouver? Yeah, exactly, Greg, man. Utah play in Vegas every year. Fuck. I don't know. I think maybe early January. Exactly. It's Utah playing in a city that they always play in, that they're comfortable in. They'll have a lot of home fans. There's a lot of people from Utah to live in Nevada. Utah Ute fans travel to Las Vegas whenever they go there. I live there. There's a shitload of them, you know? Seems like every second person in Las Vegas is either from fucking Buffalo, upstate New York, or Utah. Or Canada. Like, I'm serious. That's a very, very good point, too. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you, Cody. Yeah, we'll have an announcement for it. I was thinking around Christmas, but I'll probably do it like first week of January. I'll come to LA soon enough, Johnny. We'll get down to LA one day. I like to move to LA, to be honest. The Clippers have now lost, what, 9 in a row? I thought with getting Beverly back that would make a difference for them. No, I used to live in LA, Rich Banks. I know LA. Yeah, the Bay Area would be cool too. Lake Tahoe area. There's a new airline. What's the airline? I did notice that when I was in LA. It's always crowded in LA, but I did notice that. You live in Irvine? Yeah, San Diego's great. We've got guys that there was guys at the IFBC from Irvine. The Bay Area is awesome. It's just kind of pricey. San Diego's great. California's a cool state. I went to a Charger Raider game in San Diego before. I was only there like 2 days. Not even, like we got there, I left the next day type thing. But when I was living in Vegas, we went Thursday night to, we went from Vegas to San Diego for the Thursday night Raider game, Raiders Chargers. And then Friday we went to LA, to Hollywood. I did a show. I did a live Sports Rage in Century City. I did a live show in LA. It was a good night that night. Fucking crazy show. And yeah, like last night I lost my phone. When I did the show in LA, I left my computer, all the gear and everything. I left everything in the bar. I fucking left. We met these fucking hot chicks in LA. Shit. These chicks, like, started talking to us during the show. And then we're like, after, I said to the chick, I'm like, hey, you want to go party in Hollywood? We're like, you want to go into Hollywood? And these chicks were like, yeah, let's go. So, like, it was like big fucking LA party style, right? Fucking roll out of the bar with these fucking chicks, go to Hollywood. I didn't even fucking think about the equipment and stuff. Thank God, fuck. Our boy Nate from LA was there. And he saw me. He's like, dude, fuck, you left the bag. Fuck, you got in a taxi with those chicks and split. I was like, God damn, yeah. No, you know what? I read another wrestler was saying that another wrestler said that Ric Flair didn't do 10K. They said he did a lot, but he didn't do 10K chicks. $10,000 it's impossible. He'd have to be doing like 4 chicks a day. Oh, fuck, you left your shoes there, Trotter, and they said they didn't have it? What, when you called, they said, oh, no, they're not there? I know, I called the bar today. I said, hey, did I leave a phone? Did you guys find a phone last night? No, Kitchener Ranger Ray. It's 2,000. He didn't sleep with 20,000. He slept with 2,000. Which, that's realistic. See, Steve Wilson's a wrestling guy. Hey, give a plug for your show, Wilson. Type in here where people can find you. He was on the road 300 a year for 20 years. So one a night, that's 6,000. Exactly. Good call, Wilson. So, like, look, I believe he's done thousands. I don't think he's lying, but he hasn't done 10,000. He was just, he was asked rhetorically. He was like, I don't know, 10,000. I lost a Bo Jackson jersey in a fucking hotel in Vegas. Same shit, too. Vegas will rip you off, man. You leave anything in the room, they just say, oh, no, it's not here. It's fucking bullshit. I know. I left a fucking Bo Jackson football jersey in a hotel room once. The Tropicana. I know I left it in the room. And after, they're like, no, it's not there. I'm like, what do you mean it's not there? I know it's there. I mean, where else did I lose it? Fuck. Yeah, exactly. Listen, what stays in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like, literally and figuratively. Your shoes, your money, your wallet, anything you leave in the fucking room. I used to bang a lot of chicks in my younger heyday, but not like those type of numbers. Not those type of numbers. I had a pretty crazy run though for a few years. Yeah, man, you got to watch out, Ace King in Vegas. Like I said, Yeah, anything you leave in a casino in Vegas, you're fucked. The only time is the one thing, there was once a room, I was in Vegas, and I left like a big bag of weed and some other things, fuck, all right? It was one of those Vegas bender type deals. So I was pretty fucked up, and I left shit around, all right? So I come back into my room. I'm like, oh, shit, fuck, they were in my room. And I'm like, man, I have a lot of shit on the fucking, like, I'm like, oh, boy. I'm like, I wonder what she did with it. So I turned the light on. I'm like, you know, I'm thinking the fucking maid chick, the cleaning lady at the hotel room, put everything on a fucking plate, fuck. And, like, it was all, like, cleaned up, like, fucking perfectly. Long story short, the cleaning lady, like, cleaned the drugs up. Except she didn't throw them out. She put it on this, like, tray, and it was all, like, fucking individual, lined up, like, perfect and neat. It was like, no, not only did she not throw it out, fuck, she fucking set it up for me. I left a nice tip in that room. I said, this is the weed, papers, fucking bags, and everything was, like, fucking lined up in order, all nice and neat on the bed table next to the bed. I was thinking, that's fucking service, fuck. I'm like, that's nice service. Yeah, I know, but Jazz, the clean. What are you gonna say? Yeah, the cleaning lady stole a bag of blow. Yeah, cleaning lady. Yeah, you're gonna call the front desk. Hey, I left an 8-ball of cocaine on my fucking table, and it's not here right now. That's why they can do it. That's why in Vegas. That's why the hookers will all rip you off in Vegas too. That's why all the hookers will rip you off in Vegas. Because they know you're not going to call the cops, fuck. You're probably cheating. You know what I mean? Like the hookers will look for a dude. They'll figure out who's married and shit in the bar. They'll fucking roll up on the dudes. They'll get them up in the room. And if you're lucky, she'll blow you and rob you. If you're unlucky, you'll just get robbed. So what they do is they'll just basically drug you, fuck. So you get up to the room, and the chick will fucking drop something in your drink. I'm more of an indica guy. So drop something in your drink, and then they'll fucking rip you off. And then so you wake up in the morning, you know, you're like, what happened? Like, your money's gone, everything's gone. And what are you going to do? You're going to call the cops? Yeah, a hooker ripped me off. Soliciting a hooker in Vegas is illegal. Like, people think prostitution in Vegas is legal. It's not. They bust it too. They don't bust the chicks. They bust the dudes. Fuck. It's like fucking, usually it's the other way around. Because the chicks all pay off everyone, right? Like the hookers in casinos in Vegas, they all pay off the security in a casino. So like they give tips to the security. So that's how they get away with it. So the security guards all know, like Vegas is fucked. Like the security guards know, they'll see it. They'll be like, man, they'll know. They'll see a chick and they'll be going up to the room, and the security guard knows damn well that this chick's about to rip this guy off, and he does nothing to stop it. Because the chick's paying him off. You know, like she sort of pays for the turf. Like I got kicked out of a casino because 2 hookers tried to rip me off. I was all wasted and I had a lot of money, and the chick literally tried to pickpocket me. Literally. Like they pulled the old angle. There was 2 of them. So one of the chicks got all fucking flirty and slutty. And she started like leaning in on me and stuff like that. And the other chick fucking just boldly fucking tried to reach into my pocket. I didn't even file a complaint. Like I said, I'm no snitch, so I didn't file a complaint. But I told them to get away from me. And I was loud in doing it. I was like, I was like, go hustle someone else. I said, what do you think? I'm an idiot here? Fucking. I said, get the fuck out of here. I called her a fucking hooker or something. I don't know. I called her something. She didn't like it, fuck. And I called her something. Next thing I know, I had security on me. And I told the security guard, I said, listen, I said, you know what's up here. I said, I don't want any problems, but I said, whatever, dude. I told her, yeah, I called her that. He said, did you just call her? I said, yeah. I said, her and her fucking tramp friend are trying to rip me off. I said, well, you already know that, don't you? Because you get paid off. That's when I got kicked out. But he's like, all right, you're out. Because I said, oh, what a shock, you're not doing anything. I said, how much does she fucking pay you a night, buddy? I was really mouthy. I was like, what, you get your fucking dick sucked by her? And I said, how much you get paid for the little operation you guys are running here? Yeah, I'll jump in. I'll take a look at the end games here. And then another time I was in Vegas. When I lived there, I was at the Green Valley Ranch. It's a pretty nice place, Green Valley. It's upscale. It's in Henderson, so it's not on the Strip. I like Green Valley. It's a cool place. So I'm at the Green Valley Ranch, and I'm playing blackjack. Or sorry, I'm playing roulette. Playing roulette, and the table's not full. You know, it's like 5 of us type thing. It was comfortable, you know, so you're playing and people are kind of talking. It was a friendly environment. So we're talking and people are gambling. It's all locals, right? It's not tourists. So people are all, talking about UNLV and shit. So we're sort of roulette. And there was two tourists there. I think they were from Illinois. And so the table started to fill up as the night's going. And next thing I know, there's these fucking same shit. They come in twos, fuck. So there's these 2 hot chicks, hookers, fuck. One of them looked like Jennifer Lopez, fuck. So it's like hot, like Hispanic hookers and an Asian chick. Hispanic and an Asian chick together. And it's obvious that they're fucking hookers, right? They're all, any chick in a casino, unless she's a tourist, is a hooker. I hate to say it, but it's true. So they sit down at the table and they start playing. And I'm suspicious of the chick right away. So the chick sits down and I actually sort of move away from her a bit. Like I actually moved my chair over a bit. And she sort of looked at me like, and I kind of looked at her like, I know your game, all right? Like, just fuck off. Fuck. So I sort of moved down. So the chick fucking, right away, man, she goes, you're a fucking asshole. And I said, oh, I'm an asshole, fuck, okay? And so I'm going back and forth with the chick. And I told her, I said, you can do what you want, but I said, you're not getting me. And she goes, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, me and my friend are here from California. I don't know what your problem is, man. And I'm like, so I'm sort of like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you're from California, fuck. So I'm like, yeah, you're from California. So I'm like, let's just play, fuck. So we're fucking playing. So we're fucking playing. And lo and behold, man, it starts, fuck, man. These chicks were so good, man. Basically, I was in the chick's way. So I realized that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to move out of this chick's way. I'm there, and they were sort of like on both sides of me. So I was like, I moved. And then I said, listen, fuck, I'm going to sit over here. So I didn't want to be in the middle of the hookers, fuck. I wanted to be like, so I told the chick, I got it over. So I sat over there. So I got away from them. Then they started to do their thing. They wanted to be sitting next to each other, the chicks too. So they did their thing. And they started, man, took with it like 10 minutes. They started like, I lived there. I know the fucking, it was actually a trip to watch them execute it, fuck. So it started, man. They fucking waited and it just happened, fuck. Here comes the rich, just drunk fucking dudes at the table start popping up. And one of the chicks fucking, you notice, man, the dress starts coming down. Like her tits like weren't all out, and now suddenly her fucking rack is like just there. Boom. She's getting really fucking slutty and shit, giggling. She's gambling, but she's playing like minimum chips, right? Both of them. And one of the dudes, men are stupid. Men are going to fall for this shit. So one dude starts talking. She starts fucking putting her fucking hand on him and his head and blah, blah, blah. And then it just starts, fuck. Bing. They're so good, fuck, man. They're so good, fuck. The Asian chick was the fucking chick that hit on the guy, and Hispanic chick was the hand. I saw her, man, in a split fucking second, man. She fucking casually giggled, reached over, and plucked like $300 in chips from the dude. I looked at her, and I fucking kind of like was like, wow. Like, look, I was like, fucking slick, fuck. And boom, she got fucking greedy, man. It was nuts, fuck. You know how she did it? The chick that was flirting with the dude, the Asian chick, dropped her chips. So she's talking to this guy, flirting with this guy. She dropped her chips on the ground. He's like, let me get them for you. He's trying to fuck the chick. I'm going to be a nice guy. I'm going to bend over. She's a woman. He bends over to pick up the chips. In the split second that he bends down to pick the chip up, the friend reaches over and grabs the chips. Now, the dealer's supposed to see this, except they're fucking sharp at this shit, guys. It's Las Vegas. Like, it's, you know what I mean? This is what they do. So, I didn't rat them out or anything, but they got caught. They got caught. The guy fucking, the guy noticed that he was down chips. The dealer was playing dumb. I think the dealer was getting kickbacks from the chicks because the dealer played all dumb. And Buddy that got ripped off made a big commotion. He's like, where are my chips? But he was too stupid to know the chick stole them. He was accusing the dealer of stiffing him. So the dealer's like, I didn't stiff you, stir. And I'm sitting there just biting my tongue thinking, I just want to say, fuck, guys, come on. But I'm no snitch, right? I had a little thing going with the chick where I told her to fuck off and shit, but I wasn't going to rat them out. But security showed up, and they nailed the chicks. They didn't call the cops. They didn't call the cops. They booted the chicks out. I guess the chicks were known. One of the guys like, all right, you guys got to go again. You're out. I think, and the guy came back, and I think they said they banned the chicks now. Yeah, but the thing is, guys, yeah, technically you should get caught doing that. But if they don't, they're in on it. That's what I'm saying. They're in on it. Like the dealers are in on it. The local security guys are in on it. And another thing is too, like if you're counting cards or if you fuck around and try to beat the casino, the eye in the sky will nail you in a second. But these hooker chicks, they don't get nailed. So why do you think that is? I mean, you can't fucking breathe in a fucking casino without being on camera. Yet these hookers are running around these places like it's fucking fair game. How? It's pretty simple how. They're paying everyone off, fuck. All right, so it's 31-29 at the half right now, LSU. LSU's up on Michigan. North Carolina's kicking the shit out of Stanford, 50-36. I'm not panicked. We've got this money line parlay. I'm not panicked. I think Michigan will be all right. This is why we money lined it. You know, it's funny. I was going to lay the points with North Carolina, and I like the money line part. Oh, God, LeVar Ball's on TV here on CNN. LeVar Ball is ungrateful. Listen, you know, like Trump's saying, they weren't going to get 10 years. They weren't getting 10 years in jail. And, Trump wasn't, the whole thing that got him out. The real deal is, we talked about it. The guy, what's his name? Jack Ma or something, whatever the guy's name is. The head of Alibaba went to UCLA. All right. UCLA and China have a lot of connections in the medical industry and whatever. So we talked about it. They weren't in jail. They were in the hotel. And China was just trying to shake UCLA down and get some shit. But you can't deny the fact Donald Trump was in Asia at the time, and he brought it up with the Chinese president, and an hour later, they were free to leave. So you have to give Donald Trump credit. And then these fuckhead kids come back, and they read like this prepared statement, we want to thank the president. It was so fake. And then LeVar Ball, someone asked LeVar Ball, what do you have to say to Donald Trump that, you got your kid out? And he's like, who's that? I don't know who that is. And, and when Donald Trump tweets a lot of stupid shit, but Donald Trump even tweeted them. He tweeted out and he said, glad to help. Great that you're back in America. I hope you learned your lesson. It's a crazy world, but you got to stay on track. I wish you the best of success in your future. Sincerely, Donald Trump. And these fuckers, can't say thank you. I agree with Trump, man. Trump tweeted today. He goes, I fucking should have left these kids there. That's what he said. He said, I should have left them there. Fuck. That's the thing with Trump, man. That's the thing with Trump, that I get it. And I'm not talking politics now, but I'm just talking, if you don't like Donald Trump, fine. And I'm not asking you, I'm not saying what I like, love him or whatever, but, when the guy does something well, give him the fucking credit for it. It's like, oh, well, whatever. Oh, Donald Trump. Well, what do you mean, whatever? Donald Trump fucking told the fucking pride to China you think it's a coincidence? You think it's a coincidence that Trump meets with the president of China and tells him, hey, can you get these kids out of here? Like, I know your laws, but can you just get these kids back to America? And they're gone? Like, they are unfucking grateful. These fucking kids should have been left there. They fucking stole from 3 fucking stores. They didn't learn a lesson at all from this. They stay in a 5-star hotel under house arrest. They come back to America now. They don't get kicked off the team. And now LeVar Ball's on TV fucking clowning around again. Like, how hard is it, to just say thank you, Mr. Trump? First off, Barack wouldn't even have fucking gotten you out. Barack would have done jack shit for you. Barack would have said, I don't get involved in that. That's, like I said, I'll call Trump out, and I do call Trump out. But also, if Trump does something, then give him fucking credit for it. Don't turn it into this, LeVar Ball and fuck Trump. And I saw CNN today somehow trying to turn this into like a Trump thing. They're like, well, Trump's taking too much credit for this, and why is he talking about this? It's like, what do you mean he's taking too much? He didn't do anything. He got these kids out. If Barack Obama got these 3 kids out, you'd say what a great fucking man he was. Like I said, I don't even like the Republicans, all right? But I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump is on the right side. Like, Donald Trump's on the right side of this fucking argument. Like, Donald Trump's not the dick here. Donald Trump just got these fucking thieving kids out of fucking China, all right? Without anything happening to them. The least they can do is say fucking thank you. Like I said, this isn't a right, left. This isn't like, fuck the Democrat. This isn't a partisan thing. I'm not saying that one side's good, other side's bad. I'm just stating that these kids are fuckheads. They embarrassed America. They embarrassed UCLA. You didn't just steal a fucking pack of gum. No. You stole from 3 high-end stores. 3. You stole thousands of dollars worth of merchandise in a foreign country that you fucking in China, man, that you get 1 year per item you steal there. You steal 2 items, that's 2 years. You steal 3 items, that's 3 years. You know, each of you are looking at 3 to 4 years in jail. The average Chinese person, Trump's exaggerating, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't 10 years. They could have got, and the average Chinese person would have got 3-4 years for that. Literally. In like a hard labor camp, 3-4 years. 1 year per item stolen. That's kind of the way they operate there. So it would have been 3 to 4 years. You know, you fucking kids stayed in a fucking under house arrest in a 5-star fucking hotel, eating better than fucking we are. And you come back to America laughing. You're on TMZ. It's a big joke. And now you're a dickhead to the president. Fuck. I just wanted to get that off my chest that I just saw fucking LeVar talking on TV. You're a fucking dick, dude. And you know what? I bet you it comes back to haunt you down the road sometime. You know what I mean? Yeah, when you guys have a little business problem or a licensing issue in China, or you got a little, you know, you got some sort of issue. Yeah, don't ask us for fucking help, motherfucker. These fucking kids didn't learn a lesson at all. You didn't learn a lesson at all. You stayed in a hotel. Nothing would happen. What lesson did you kids learn from this? You're probably laughing, fuck. You know what I mean? And there's LeVar fucking trying to turn this into fucking let me sell some shoes out of this. You're a fucking prick. I don't know what he said in the interview tonight. Like I just said, I saw, you know, I forgot about it. I just saw the sound down, but I'm thinking you are an ungrateful fucking prick. Fuck. As I said, this isn't a political thing to me. This is just, you know, Donald Trump fucking helped get your kid out of jail, asshole. You know, your kid, you know what? Donald Trump, you know, yeah, maybe Jack Ma and UCLA and shit, you guys would, you know, he wasn't going to jail for 10 years and he wasn't going to go to jail at all. But, you know, how about, you know, just say thank you, Mr. President. Pretty simple, like LeVar. Yeah, thanks. You could even say, you know what? I don't agree with his politics, but I really appreciate what he did for my family. That's a class gesture. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science, this, fuck. All right, so Mississippi and Utah have just tipped off. Yeah, for the record, I like Utah in this game. It's 2-0 right now, and you can get Utah plus 2.5, plus 125 on the money line. Let's just take a shot on the money line here with the Utes. Utah Utes money line. North Carolina's up 50-36 at the half. Like Dave Malinsky brought up, the head coach of Stanford was one of Roy Williams' players. So he's not going to run the score up and embarrass them. Yeah, the in-game number is 14.5. They're up by 14. I would imagine that North Carolina is not going to embarrass them, but they're probably not going to lose the second half either. I think North Carolina minus the half a point in the second half is the play. I'll play it. I've got North Carolina on the money line parlay with Michigan already. And the Michigan second half has just started, but we got in-game options. Michigan are minus 160 on the money line still. The odds makers aren't worried about Michigan. Michigan are minus 2.5, but the in-game total has fallen to 134.5. I think let's wait a few minutes here, guys. I think we can jump. Listen, I've got the over the game. If we get a little quick start here, you know, the over will be coming to play again. And if it slows down a little bit, this number is going to go from 134 to 126.5 or something like that. We'll step up and we'll hit that. Over. Like we'll wait, you know, let's just like a market here. We'll wait for it to drop a little bit more. And one thing with Michigan is Michigan will hit free throws at the end of the game. Like they're fundamentally sound. So like there's usually points at the end of Michigan games. Michigan's having a hard time from the field tonight, though. They just missed their first shot of the second half. A long 2-point jumper. I hate that. Fuck, I hate those shots. And, of course, the key would be the fouls. Now, Michigan's already got 1 foul. I think that's, 2 fouls. All right, good. That's good for the over, basically. Because, look, we're 1 minute in. Michigan have already committed 2 team fouls, less than 1 minute into the second half here. So, for over bettors, I'm just stating that, if LSU gets, if both teams can get into the bonus quick. Thing with Michigan is they don't fucking they don't get fouled. That's the problem. They'll hit their free throws if they get to the line, but they don't get fouled. They don't get to the line. They're not aggressive. They only shoot threes. I hear sound on my headphones.
He's going to grow as a defender. He's going to grow in leadership. He is the guy you want as your partner.
Oh, I had the sound up on the game. I was like, what the fuck is that? It's the problem with CBSSports.com. I like that website. I think CBSSports.com has good, most fucking sports websites now are just all videos. So CBS has stories and headlines and news, etc. on their website. But the thing with CBSSports.com, it's so frustrating, man. The fucking video pop-ups, man. All right, Mo Wagner just hits a shot, 33-31. Let's go, Michigan. We need this, fuck. Turnover, LSU. Basket, Michigan. Boom, 33-33. Here we go. Go blue. Michigan now minus 200 on the money line, minus 3.5. Minus 3.5 might not be a bad play. I think Michigan's going to pull away, to be honest. Oh, LSU just scores, though. Oh, is this going to open up? Is the total come back into play here? All right, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with a couple. We'll do a line check, take a look at the numbers, and wrap things up here. I'm not at 100%. Pretty good show, though. I've gotten through this, but it's starting to kick in a little bit. I nearly threw up on national television earlier today. Fuck. I'm not proud of myself. I actually did. I threw up like fucking literally 1 minute before the show today. I started the show. I started sweating bullets, man. I got through the intro, and right near the end of the intro, I was like, man, if I don't stop this intro, like I'm going to sweat to death or I'm going to throw up. Yeah, but look, we're back on the water. The Kitchen Arranger, Ray, you're a class act, buddy. Great to hang out with you. Look forward to doing it again. Nice guy, Ray is. Ray's good people. But I'm back on the train here. I had Swiss Chalet tonight for dinner, but I'm actually so fucking committed that I got the mashed potatoes instead of the French fries. No, it was a fun time. Like I really do. Like I said, I don't mind. I don't go out much or anything. I work hard. So once in a while, I got to get out and have some fun. And I really did have fun, but it kind of sucks that, like I said, I had a really good week gambling. I did some stupid shit last night when I was drunk. And then I'm disappointed about my phone. I'm kind of depressed today, but, I didn't bust up the eating patterns. No, I had some chalet sauce. I can't lie. Good one, Rich Banks. I like it. All right, so we'll take a break. We'll give you a little sound here in the Michigan game. 40-35 LSU. In-game total up to 137.5. Up to 138.5. The 145 still in play. We just need Michigan to start hitting some shots here. It's 40-37. 42-37. In-game total up to 140.5. Second half's really opening up here.
We mentioned at halftime, not a ton of highlight reel stuff from the opening 20 minutes. Things done changed. Michigan obviously spreading and driving. Oh, man. Tremont Waters. How about this, partner? This is luck. I don't care. This is luck. Michigan wants to travel, but I tell you what, he put nice English on it. I don't think he traveled as weird as that sounded.
Kid on LSU just made one of the craziest, weirdest shots ever. All right, come on, Beeline. Get your kids fucking going here. Let's go. Wow. No scoring at all in this Utah-Mississippi game. I didn't take the under, so. Oh, good shit. 6-2 Utah. Hey. I took Utah. 9-2 Utah now. I took Utah when they were plus 125 just like a minute ago. Now they're minus 185. Let's go, Utah. We're on the Utes. Let's go. All right, so yeah, we'll give you a little sound here of the Michigan game. We'll come back and wrap things up.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter. And the long-lasting power of Energizer, still going.
Back here in Lahaina Civic Center on the beautiful island of Maui, it is 40-35. LSU on top of Michigan. 15-27.
I think it's 42-37. Isn't it?
Yeah, we'll adjust that. The
It doesn't
scoreboard
matter. It's a
here
5-point lead.
is 42-37. Yeah.
You know how sometimes you know something, but you see it's different. You think you're wrong, even though
Yes. I know that all too well.
I do too. It's the story of my life.
13 points apiece, by the way, for Mo Wagner and Charles Matthews for Michigan. They have 26 of the 37. Yes, 37 points
Right.
for the Wolverines.
Now, Teskey here, if he sets a ball screen, you want him to roll and use his size against Combs.
Here's Matthews working against Epps.
That's just a bad possession out of a timeout.
Well, we're going to have a whistle against LSU on the rebound. It's the last game of our day one coverage here, the 2017 Maui Jim Maui Invitational. The action tomorrow will feature a pair of semifinal games starting at 1:30 Eastern. Yes, 8:30 a.m. in Hawaii Marquette and number 6 Wichita State. How about the Shockers had to rally from down 18 against Cal, and they ended up winning by a pretty considerable margin.
Well, they were down the entire, 34 minutes and 54 seconds. According to Brendan Quinn, who is a fantastic writer for The Athletic, he covers Michigan basketball. He's out here. And lost by 10. And won by 10. Down from 34-54 and win by 10 is pretty amazing. If the game had gone any longer, they won by 20.
He upped the pressure, started to extend it full court, and Cal unable to handle it. The miss from the corner by Aaron Epps. Here come the Wolverines. Stepping into the three is Abdul Rahman.
He thought he made that too. He thought he made that. He backed up after it.
LSU will get into his half-court offense. Mays says, forget that, I'm going all the way to the rim, and he gets fouled. He'll shoot two.
How about that, though? This is how hard that LSU is playing. On the shot, on the miss, both Epps and Reeves were up after the ball on the rim. I mean, LSU does not stand around anymore. They're not waiting, on the Simmons kid, Ben Simmons. Look at those two guys. Everybody is involved here and going. It's really impressive what this guy's been able to do in such a short period of time.
Kyler Mays knocks down the free throw. Will Wade, of course, bringing some of that VCU style. He wasn't quite as tied into that havoc mentality of VCU, but still, certainly a lot of activity, a lot of energy is something that he brings.
Yeah, LSU's taking it to the rack. They're more athletic than Michigan are. 44-39. Close game now. 44-39. Here's Wagner. Nice pass. Michigan misses a shot that they should have just fucking made. It leads to a 2-on-1 for LSU. The fouls are getting there. That's a foul on Michigan. That should be their 14th foul, yeah. 14 foul on Michigan. One thing, too, about Beeline is motherfucker will coach to the final fucking whistle. I'll tell you that much. I think the in-game over 139 is in play here. Just fell to 138. We're going to jump in on it. LSU are athletic. They're getting to they're taking it to the rack, and there's fouls when they do. I just grabbed over 138.5. It just popped up back up to 139.5. 15-10 for the Utah Utes right now. 59-46. I laid the half point with North Carolina. I got to win by 15. I got to win by 15. North Carolina now. I'm on Michigan on the money line. I've got the over 146, but I also just took over 138.5, and I'm on the Utah Utes. Fucking Michigan just missed. Fuck. That's the problem with Michigan. Fuck, man. They're such a finesse fucking team. All right, they got a basket. It's like, with Michigan, they live and they fucking die with their shooting. They don't take it to the rack aggressively. I like to see, as a Michigan fan, I'd like to see them recruit a couple of tougherts, a couple of kids like LSU have here. Michigan, we never have that athletic 6'9" sort of wild raw player. We got a bunch of smart fucking guys, refined guys. We got a bunch of good 3-point shooters, but we don't have that fucking killer athlete. And it's Beeline. Like I said, we don't hand envelopes out. We're not paying players. And he runs a clean program. I guess it's good. I don't have to worry. I know Michigan basketball, we're clean, but it's frustrating at times because there's some, we should be able to get some of the bigger players, but we don't because we don't pay them. I mean, there's a reason why these kids go to Kentucky, right? We used to, and we got caught. So we can't, you know. Michigan got caught. So, like, Michigan's an uppity school and, like, institution. It's like, you know, some universities don't care, right? Some universities like, yeah, whatever, we got caught. Like, we'll do it again. It was worth it. We made a lot of money in the bowl game. You know, like, some universities, you know, the SEC teams, like, if you ain't cheating, you're not trying type of deal. Michigan got nailed with that fucking Fab Five stuff. And, you know, we got hit with the Fab Five stuff, and the fucking dean, the crusty old dean there, freaked out. Fucking chick. She fucking, remember, she banned Chris Webber from the campus. They took down our banners and shit. Wasn't even the NCAA, it was the school, fuck. Like, the school, like, erased the Fab Five from the history books type shit. She's like, it better not ever happen again. And fucking, you know, it's like I said, fucking LSU's looking good. 49-42 now, taking it to the rack. They're going to be shooting free throws. Michigan are up to their 15th foul here with 12 minutes left. In-game total, 143.5. I told you, this shit's coming into play here. The fouls, we're going to get there. I think the over gets there. It'd be great if Michigan could come back and we hit the over. That'd be nice. So shout out to Big Man on Campus. I know he continues to light up the college basketball. We've had a nice start on the college hardwood, too. Nice start on the college hardwood. We've been doing well. Our NBA has been very good recently. I'm seeing the NBA clearly. Like I said, just one day of drinking throws me for a loop. I'll be back on track. We might have a plus day today. I don't know. Taking Seattle Seahawks wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done, but... So what is there in the morning here? Bunch of morning basketball. Thing is, with a lot of these games, there's no point spreads because they're tournament games and stuff, right? Let's see. Like Dave mentioned that Marquette game. Yeah, there's not numbers for most of the games. Like Marquette plays Wichita State at 1:30 in the afternoon tomorrow. That's a good game. Pittsburgh and Oklahoma State, 3:30. VCU and Cal at 4 in the afternoon. I'll have some picks on the TV show for this stuff tomorrow. Tuesday night NBA bad. We got a great guest tomorrow, Coach Nick. Coach Nick on Game Time. He's real good, Coach. Only one game in the NBA tomorrow night. Wow. The Chicago Bulls, 3-11. Chicago Bulls, 1-7 on the road, are at the LA Lakers. LA Lakers, -5.5. I don't like betting on the Lakers as favorites. I don't mind the Lakers as small home favorites in a game they can win. I don't mind the Lakers as an underdog at home. Like, I'm not anti-Laker. I don't just bet against the Lakers every game or anything like that. I pick my spots with them. My gut right now, when I look at it, my initial reaction is the line's too high. Like I said, I just don't trust the Lakers laying points. Lauri Markkanen is playing some good basketball. The thing is, the Chicago Bulls just don't have anybody. Zach LaVine's going to be back in mid-December only. We went over to Thanksgiving. We told you about the Thanksgiving lines. Be a good week of football, though. Thanksgiving football. The Wednesday night show will be fun. We'll break down all the Thursday Thanksgiving games. We'll talk some NFL and we'll talk some college tomorrow, some college football. Big week of college football. Last week wasn't, but it is this week. Big games. Rivalry week. Oh, we got Mac tomorrow, eh? That's good. That's good. One NBA game, but we got some Mac. 3 games in the Mac. No football Wednesday, but there's 3 games tomorrow in the Mac. Miami of Ohio. Jeez. Miami of Ohio aren't fucking 18-point favorites against anybody very often. I'll tell you that much. They're 18-point favorites at Ball State. It's a meaningless game. No one's going bowling. They're both shit. Miami of Ohio are 2-8 against the spread. Ball State are 3-7 against the spread. Both money burners. Bowling Green at Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan are 4-7. They can't go bowling, but I'll give them credit. They're playing hard. Fuck. They try every week. They're actually 7-3 against the spread, but they're not often 13-point favorites. And Kent State and Akron. This actually is a big one. Kent State and Akron. Akron at 6-5 right now. Early NFL leans on Thursday. I think the Chargers do beat the Cowboys. I think the game goes over the number. It'll be a lot of points on the board. I like the Vikings to beat the Lions. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you tuning in. My apologies last night. Yeah, I do get heartburn. Thanks, Shy Picks. Yeah, I think the over is going to get there, Mohammed, in the Michigan game. Yeah, hit the like button. Support Sportsbook Review. See you later, Craig West. Shano, Rich Banks, Amar, pick up 10. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, hit the like button on the way out here. Support Sportsbook Review. They're good people. See you later, Johnny Kicknuts, Robert Castro. Hey, Mingo, good to see you, buddy. JP. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks, Rumblade. So quick updates on the way out here. 50-46, in-game total up to 144.5. Ooh. Utah, Mississippi getting close again. 26-25. 26-25 Utes. I think the Utes will pull it out. And like I said, we're on North Carolina minus 15 in the second half, minus half a point. They're now up by 20. Good. That's good. 70-51. We should hit that. You guys rock. And like I said, I apologize last night. I know it was quite a shit show, but it was entertaining. But you'll get the sober. We'll be locked into a sober zone. There'll be a drunk show in the future again, I'm sure, with the holiday and the bowl season coming. But I'm back into recovery mode, drinking water, eating almonds, and hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. Hopefully I can find my fucking phone. Woke up today. Man, this is a secondary computer I have. And I had to pay $150 to get this one going. Now, if this one done, like I'm out. I'm out of Max. Like I said, I had 2 of them. I've already gone through 2 of them, and I have these 2. The thing is, there's a few of them kicking around my workplace, right? No, I don't steal them, but I can use them. And I use them for the show. So the thing is, I had another one that I gave to Chris Meany, but Meany didn't need it. I see it's just sitting there. It actually crossed my mind to do the old switch. It crossed my mind to do the switch where it's like, man, I was on the way out today. I was like, man, that fucking MacBook that I brought back and gave these guys before, it's been sitting there unused for like a fucking month. So it crossed my mind. I was like, I should just take this one that I have problems with all the time and put that one there and take this one. But then I'm just going to fuck someone else when they need it if I do that. 53-48. In-game total, 147.5. Told you, we're getting there. 147.5. And Michigan just hits a shot, 53-50. There's some points here, guys. Like, put it this way. Look, they scored 60 points in the first quarter combined. They've already scored 43 points combined, and there's still 10 minutes left in the game, and Michigan are on the free throw line now. Chance for a three-point play. Let's go blue. Be nice if we could hit the over and Michigan. It'd be a nice way to end the night. And Utah and North Carolina. Thanks, guys. You guys fucking rock. We'll see you tomorrow. May the winners be yours. Yeah, every Tuesday, big man. Every Tuesday, big man. Yeah, big man will be on the Fantasy Sports Network tomorrow evening. The video will be up tomorrow night. Switch it. Thanks, Slipknot. See you later, John. Cody, Kitchen Array, Jure. Have a good night, guys. May the winners be yours. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.